Hello, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. We are live right now on Soccer M and Football Daily social channels. So many games to get through today, and I'm pleased to say we've got a packed sofa. To my left, making his debut on the Football Social, a man with over 50 England caps, Glenn Johnson. Great to have you on. You are watching, you're retired now, aren't you? Just recently retired.
Yep.
And you are watching one of your former clubs today, Liverpool against Palace. So how do you see that game going?
I think it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, I'm going to go for the home win, but Palace do have a good record at Anfield, so like I say, I'm not expecting it to be easy.
Yeah, it'll be a tough game, that one. To your left, someone, I don't think he's got any England caps, but we like him anyway. Dave, you're watching Man United today.
Yeah, I've got 2 FTFC caps, so
have
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching Man United. I can only see one winner here, to be honest.
Man United Brighton, your game.
Yeah, I can see United going above us today, which is not great. Us being Arsenal, obviously.
Yeah, just get that in. And of course, we've got Adam Templeman back on Social Corner. Temp, just remind the viewers how they can get in touch and what you're looking for today.
It's very easy. Get us on Twitter at Football Daily, at SoccerM, and use the hashtag #TheFootballSocial. If the questions are good, I'll throw them over to Glenn, throw over to Jackson, Smithy, and Will.
Yeah, get them in.
God, that was lovely, that was, mate. That was beautiful.
And Will Grazer with the toughest job on the Football Social. Will, you're watching the other 4 games, 6 3 o'clock games in the Premier League today. You're watching the other 4. Remind us what games you're covering, mate.
Yeah, we've got Bournemouth, West Ham, Newcastle, Cardiff, Southampton versus Everton, and Watford versus Burnley.
Oh, which game of those 4 are you most looking forward to?
Football Social regulars will know I'm getting most excited about Newcastle versus Cardiff because Warnock's keeping them up, Smithy. I've told you.
Will has said this from day one on the Football Social. Cardiff are staying up, and you might be proved right.
I won't be proved wrong. We'll put it that way.
You won't be proved wrong. We shall wait and see. Only time will tell. As well as all this is quite exciting actually. Sky Bet have got a new incentive called Group Bets. So how Group Bets works, they are exclusive to Sky Bet, and you set up a group on the app, on the Sky Bet app, invite your mates, build an accumulator. They are exclusive to Sky Bet, of course, bet responsibly. So this is our Football Social Group Bet. Temps has gone for a draw between Bournemouth and West Ham. Glenn Johnson, unsurprisingly, has gone for his old club, Liverpool, to beat Crystal Palace. I've gone for Man United to beat Brighton. Will's gone for Cardiff, his beloved Cardiff, we should say, to beat Newcastle. Dave Jackson's gone for Southampton to beat Everton. And I've gone for Watford to beat Burnley. You can get odds of 100 to 1 with Sky Bet. Interestingly, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. For more bets, go to skybet.com, should I say. 100 to 1 on that.
That is definitely worth a tenner, isn't it? That's definitely worth
These were the full-time scenes. Interestingly, in the earlier game, it finished Wolverhampton Wanderers 4, Leicester 3. Epic game that we witnessed. Diogo Jota with a hat-trick. Interestingly, Diogo Jota is the first Wolves player to score a top-flight hat-trick since John Richards in October 1977. And that was also against Leicester. So massive win for Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux today. You can see what it means there. Is Chilwell and Damari Gray looking very happy. Damari Gray did score a great goal in that game, but it was to nothing. Wolves in all 3 points. So this is how it's left the Premier League table. Wolves go above Leicester. They're up to 8th. Fantastic starts to the season. Their first season in the Premier League following their promotion last season, of course. At the top, Glenn Johnson's former club, Liverpool, lie 4 points ahead of Manchester City. Man City do have that superior goal difference and do play tomorrow, of course. They could go 7 points clear today, Liverpool. Spurs and Chelsea make up the top 4. Arsenal 5th, Man United 6th. Let's have a look at the bottom half of the table. It does not make for good reading for Huddersfield fan. Obviously, Dave Bagner has departed the club this week. Mark Hudson in temporary charge for their game today. 11 points from 22 games, minus 24 goal difference. Rock bottom of the Premier League. Fulham and Newcastle making up the bottom 3. Glenn, let's come to you first. Let's talk about our feature game, your former club, Liverpool. You've been involved in title races. You've won the Premier League, of course. How important psychologically is it to play first, knowing that Liverpool today, they can go 7 points clear?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity that they've got the opportunity to go 7 points clear. But obviously they've got to go out in a tough game today and obviously get the 3 points. But obviously if they do, then it puts a stamp on tomorrow and they can sit back and load the pressure onto Manchester City.
It's a great title race we're witnessing. I imagine you think Liverpool will go on to win? Yeah,
of course. I expect both teams to probably drop points till the end of the season, but I think Liverpool probably got the slightly better run in. Obviously they're in fine form, so I'd back them all day to win the league now.
Dave, you're nodding your head there. Title race, how do you see it pan out? We saw a huge game between Liverpool and Man City, which I think Man City had to win.
Yeah, I think if Liverpool would have got something out of that game against Man City and stayed unbeaten, I think Liverpool 100% would have gone on and won the league. But the fact City did manage to grind that game out and get like the 3 points, I still think City. I don't know, I'm sorry.
City, you do?
I still think City, yeah.
Split sofa here, guys. Where do you see the title race at the minute? Who do you think is favourites to win the Premier League this season?
I'm going to go for City. I think Liverpool just won't have the edge at the end of the season. I think they'll slip up again.
Yeah. Not happy with that, Glenn.
No, not really.
I think as an Arsenal fan, to be fair, most fans of the top six who aren't Liverpool don't want them to win it either. So maybe that's why.
Do you think that's because they haven't won obviously they've won many league titles, but they haven't won the Premier League?
I think probably, yeah, definitely. I was just glad they're not going to finish the season as invincibles, personally.
Yeah.
That's ours.
Yeah, you keep going on. Arsenal fans keep going on about that. I've noticed.
Yeah,
Will, title race. What do you think?
I don't like confrontation, Glenn, but I am going to go for Manchester City.
Oh, no.
I just think they haven't had De Bruyne.
Wrong place.
Sorry, Glenn.
They haven't had De Bruyne for the whole of the season. He's coming back into form. David Silva as well. I just think that's coming. The momentum is on the way.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comment sections. Of course, who do you think will win the Premier League? Maybe we do a poll. Temps, you like a poll on social media?
I'm not doing the polls today, but the person who's doing the polls, do a poll.
Let's put out a poll. Who do you think is going to win out of Liverpool versus Man City? Speaking of Liverpool, the team news is in. This is the team to play today's match against Crystal Palace. Alisson in goal. Liverpool, of course, have their defensive issues, as we know. A few injuries, so James Milner is in at right back. Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, Andrew Robertson make up the back four. Henderson and Firmino in behind. Mane, Firmino, Naby Keita and Mo Salah. That's how we think Liverpool line up formation-wise. Glenn, I mean, so many strengths in Liverpool. Now, is that a big change between Liverpool last season and this season, that they were perhaps reliant upon Salah and their attacking players? But if you look at that team now, there's just strength all over the pitch, isn't there?
Yeah, of course. Like I say, obviously, I know Millie's playing out of position there, but he's such a good pro, he can play anywhere. And like you say, from between the posts to the strikers, it's a powerful team.
Do you think that was a big part of Klopp as well, the fact that he invested early in the summer? Like, they spent a lot of money early on. They got Van Dijk. They've strengthened in areas, Alisson, they needed to strengthen. Is that part of the reason why they are where they are this season, do you think?
Yeah, I think so, because that clearly shows you they went to get the players that they wanted to get. Usually when people are doing business in the last couple of days, it's panic buying or maybe they're getting their third choice striker or their third choice goalkeeper. So I think the fact that they went out and set the stall early and got the players that they wanted set a good precedent for the season. Yeah.
It's going very well for Liverpool at the minute. Let's have a look at the Palace team. Speroni in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Tompkins, Saka and Van Aanholt, Kouyaté, Milivojevic, MacArthur, and then that front three, that pacey front three of Townsend, Ayew, Zaha. Roy Hodgson, of course, facing his own club. That is one enforced change from Palace's home defeat to Watford. And his 39-year-old goalkeeper and club legend, of course, Julian Speroni starts. So it's a big game for him as Wayne Hennessy and Vicente Guaita are both out injured. So big game for Speroni. Dave? Dangers for Liverpool to be aware of? I mean, the one that jumps off the page is Zaha.
So last time we were doing the 3 o'clock games, we saw City, the Palace.
We did.
And we saw the goal of the season in Andros Townsend's wonder strike. I feel, you know, Liverpool don't like playing against Palace, but I think Liverpool have way too much in like the locker for this. I think especially if Liverpool can get an early goal, I can only see one winner. Maybe even this might be the game that Liverpool can maybe overtake in terms of the goal difference as well. Potentially, that's a bit harsh.
But saying that, we did say that the last time. You quite rightly said we watched the 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
We did say we think Man City will.
And I think the worst thing about that game is like City actually got an early goal, didn't they? And then they managed to claw one back, and it was 1-1. And then was it the game finished 3-2?
Yeah. And Andros Townsend with the goal of the season, and Troy Townsend, Andros' dad, was watching and very much liked your reaction to Andros Townsend's goal, because Dave just absolutely lost it, didn't you?
I did. Because the thing is, everybody else was watching the other game, wasn't it? And I was watching the City game, and I just went, you know, you never know.
Well, dangers in that team. It's easy to say Zaha because he is the main man, but they've got other attacking options. Andros Townsend's in a bit of form at the minute.
I think so, yeah. But the leading goal scorer is Milivojevic, isn't it, from centre mid, from the penalty spot. So Zaha's only got 2. I think Townsend's got 3, and he has to score a worldie if he's going to score. So I think it'll be a very tough day in the office. I think.
You do? Okay, Temps. How do you see this game unfolding?
I think it's going to be a draw.
Do you?
Adam,
blow the title race wide open, Temps.
That's why I've gone for a draw for West Ham Bournemouth as well. Ups the odds. And
that's a tough one to predict, that, isn't it? West Ham Bournemouth.
Yeah, West Ham have been on great form though, so maybe I'm going to be wrong. Probably will be wrong.
OK, just remind the viewers that are joining us on the stream now how they can get in touch as well. We're going to be taking questions very shortly after we go around the grounds.
You can tweet us at Football Daily, at SoccerAM, #TheFootballSocial. Would you like a question, Smithy?
Yes, go on. Let's take a quick question.
Do you want Manchester United or Liverpool question? What do you want to go for?
You decide.
You want me to decide?
Go on.
All the control. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the real deal for Manchester United? That's from Rory_Hill.
Glenn, 6 matches, 6 wins. He's not doing a lot wrong, is he, Ole Gunnar?
Well, exactly, yeah. I think he's just come in and put a smile back on everyone's faces. At the end of the day, it's Manchester United. They've got top players, and for whatever was going on before, obviously we'll never know, but something wasn't right.
Yeah.
And of course, he's not turned them into great players overnight. No. So it's just a matter of getting them happy and making them perform and be proud of wearing a shirt again. And like I say, 6 out of 6, then he can't be faulted. Yeah,
it's not going badly. We can go around the grounds now. These are the scenes at Anfield. Liverpool back to winning ways at Brighton last weekend. Jurgen Klopp still makes 4 changes from that victory. Joel Matip, James Milner, Fabinho and Naby Keita are all in today's starting 11. So those are the scenes. Another full capacity at Anfield. Big game. Liverpool with the chance to go 7 points clear due to the fact that Manchester City play tomorrow. And, of course, the big news of Crystal Palace is that Speroni, club legend, 39-year-old Julian Speroni, is in goal. We expect him to be very busy against Liverpool's attacking lineup today.
Can I change my prediction?
These are the scenes at Old Trafford. There is the man, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hoping to extend his run to 7 straight wins since taking over at Old Trafford. He names an unchanged side from the one that won at Wembley against Spurs last weekend. So that means Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku and Eric Bailly, who is back from suspension, importantly, are all on the bench. There's the Brighton team, also name an unchanged side, despite that home defeat to Liverpool last time out. Worth pointing out, Brighton did play well against Liverpool. It was only that Mo Salah penalty that separated them. We can go to Watford next. These are the scenes at Vicarage Road. Watford make 3 changes from their recent win at Crystal Palace. Christian Kabasele comes into defence for Craig Cathcart. Tom Cleverley replaces Abdoulaye Doucouré, and Ken Sema is in for Will Hughes, who suffered concussion last week. Burnley, meanwhile, are unchanged from their win over Fulham last week. Look at the atmosphere there, Vicarage Road. That is one that Will Brazier will be keeping an eye on. Expecting goals galore in that one, Will, are we?
Oh, yes, please.
There we go. And Will's favourite game that he said earlier, big game at the bottom. It's Newcastle versus Cardiff at St James's Park. Newcastle's only change from the defeat at Chelsea is in defence as goalscorer Kieran Clark drops to the bench, having passed a late fitness test. He is replaced in the starting 11 by Fabian Schär. Cardiff make 3 changes from their goalless draw against Huddersfield. Lee Peltier and Joe Ralls are recalled, whilst Oumar Niasse makes his Cardiff debut since joining on loan from Everton. There is Rafa Benitez there. Both managers badly needing a win in that game. Big game at the bottom of the table, Newcastle versus Cardiff at St James's Park. Another big game at the bottom, Southampton, certainly for Southampton anyway, they play Everton. Ralph Hasenhüttl makes 2 changes from the 2-1 win at Leicester last weekend. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg returns after suspension for Southampton, whilst Danny Ings is back after a thigh injury. Massive news for Southampton. He is so important for them. Shane Long and Stuart Armstrong are both on the bench. Meanwhile, Everton, unchanged from the side that won 2-0 at home against Bournemouth last time out. So, loads of games to look forward to. Will, any that have kicked off so far? We're moments away.
No, we're not there yet, Smithy. Just the pre-match proceedings ready to go on. Look like a cracking atmosphere at Watford. And, of course, my attention is diverted straight away to St James's Park. A huge 6-pointer at the bottom of the table, but I think it's going to go Neil Warnock's way.
You do? Big fan of Neil Warnock, aren't you, Will?
No, just a big fan of making predictions and sticking to them and hoping they happen. Don't really like Neil Warnock, to be honest.
And then, OK, we are a couple of minutes away from kick-off. All of our 6 games will kick off at 3 o'clock. Have you got another question from Social Corner? About the main games, then?
I do. I have one about the Manchester United game, one of our main games, from Aidan Nisbet, who says, do you think Manchester United will continue the winning streak today?
Dave, your game you're covering?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they will. I think, to be fair, I think they'll win this quite easily, and that's nothing against Brighton. I think they're a very, very good team, but at home, absolutely full to the brim with confidence. I can only see one winner. Yeah.
Another feature game, of course, is Liverpool. Glenn, you made a good point earlier about Palace's record at Liverpool. Palace have won 3 of the last 4 meetings with Liverpool at Anfield. That's incredible, isn't it, really? When you were playing, are players made aware of records like that? And can that sometimes affect you, or is it just a case of go out and play the game?
Yeah, no, I don't think the players would be so aware of that. It'd be more like the media that would discuss it, but it's a record you don't want to hear.
For Palace, isn't it? For a team like, no disrespect to Palace, but at Anfield against Liverpool, it's an incredible record, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Obviously, both teams would have evolved a lot over the years, so it's not like the same squads are always playing, but it's, of course, you'd back Liverpool to beat Palace at home.
Interestingly, Palace are an 11-to-1 shot to win today. That is with Sky Bet. Don't forget, you must be 18+. Full terms and conditions apply. Will, first kick-off in some of your games. It looks like we're moments away.
We are moments. We're not quite there, Smithy, yet.
There we go.
We're nearly there. The first ball is about to be kicked by Ryan Fraser, and we're
off.
underway.
Here we go.
Saturday hammer.
Get your questions into us. At Football Daily, at Soccer AM, get your questions in. 4 games have kicked off. Neither of our 2 feature games have kicked off. Just watching Sir Alex Ferguson is in the stands. Interestingly, Dave, as well, it was interesting hearing what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying, that a few weeks ago he's regularly been in contact with Sir Alex Ferguson and getting advice and things. And it's very endearing for Man United.
It's also like, why,
that,
kind of, wouldn't you? The greatest managers that ever played or whatever managed a game. Like, why would you not take his advice? It's like, it's just, you know, it's almost like a no-brainer, isn't it? You know what I mean? So.
As an Arsenal fan who are very close to Man United in the league, you know, competition, what did you make of Mourinho's departure and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Well,
do you think that is a negative for the teams around Manchester United because they're on a great run of form?
I think for the long-term future United, I think it was a very good appointment because you know, this guy maybe, I feel like it kind of buys them time to actually make the right appointment in the summer, rather than kind of maybe trying to get like someone out of another club. It's like, okay, we know that Ole Gunnar is going to come on and steady the ship, at least get the fans back on side, and then obviously if he like gets them, if he can manage to get United back into the top 4, then maybe he does get the job. But there's no kind of expectation for him to be the long-term manager here. So I think it's a very good appointment.
It's an appointment that the fans love as well.
Yeah.
Were you surprised, Glenn, that Jose Mourinho, and he's obviously been so successful throughout his career, were you surprised that it didn't work out of him at Man United?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Mourinho is one of the best managers I've worked for. And surprising, for whatever reason, the players just didn't click with him, and for whatever reason, that's probably the only time in his career it didn't work. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just as surprised as the next man. And
what was he like to work for? You said that just then he's one of the best that you've ever worked with. Well, what's he like on the training ground and day-to-day? Yeah,
he's brilliant. Knows football in and out. Yeah. The training's good, fun, quick, very organised. We've worked at some clubs where things aren't so organised, but with Mourinho, it literally have, for example, say he was doing 4 exercises today, they'd all be set out in time, so you walk off this section of the pitch straight into this one, into this one, and the intensity was through the roof.
Because of the organisation, he's just
because it's not off the cuff.
The other thing I thought about Mourinho is, you look at his time at Chelsea and Inter Milan and Rome, where he was successful, he seemed to have a very good relationship with players and be smiling. Didn't seem to have that. Obviously, we don't know what went on at United because we're looking at it from the outside, but did he have a joke and a laugh with the players when you were there? Did you see that side of him?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he did. The Premier League was fresh and new to Mourinho at the time. So whatever happened over the next few years, whether you're sort of falling out of love with certain bits or personal life, we have no idea, we'll never know. But yeah, he certainly had a laugh with the players and all the staff pretty much daily.
And you expect him to be back in the game, I presume, soon?
Oh, yeah. You can't have someone like Mourinho out of the game for too long, can you?
I think we all hope that he is back in the game very soon. First chance of the game, we had a groan from Will. Were you just digesting the chicken from earlier, Will, or was that a chance in one of your games?
Didn't have chicken, had pork, Smithy, you should know that. It was 1-1. Troy Deeney was through on goal and Tom Heaton with the save, pushing it wide. But, yeah, bright early start for Watford in a game they should be expected to win at Vicarage Road.
Dave, Man United, how are they starting?
They've started
early days?
particularly well. They are putting pressure on from the first kick of the ball. And they now have a free kick just outside of the area. I'm going to see who's going to step up to take it. It might be Paul Pogba. I'm not sure. Maybe he's definitely sniffing around it.
He is a man in form under Solskjaer, isn't he, Paul Pogba?
It's actually Ashley Young's over it. So we'll see if he can put the ball in. Also Marcus Rashford, who I think has done fantastic the last 6 or 7 games. Because I remember before Christmas we were kind of talking about maybe he has to go out on loan to go and get some first-team football. But like, you know, what's he got now? 4 and 4 or something like that?
Yeah, he's above
4 goals, 4 assists.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So we've got Pogba standing over at Ashley Young as well, doing the famous talking into a glove so that no one can hear or know where they're going to place it. Dave, let's stick with you for the free kick.
Yes, I think it's going to be Pogba. He's stepping up, right boot. Is he going to...
It's Rashford.
Oh, it's Rashford. Oh, no, he's left it. Pogba! Oh! Ah, rubbish. Hit the wall. Get out. Next.
The top of the wall, though. It was a good free kick, wasn't it? It was defended away. Is this a sort of potential banana skin for Man United? Brighton? Because Brighton are quite solid, aren't they? They've had a very good season under Chris Hughton, considering they don't have the resources of a lot of teams. They're tough to beat, Brighton, aren't they? They have beaten United in the past as well.
I think the thing is, like, if Brighton are going to get anything out of it, they're going to have to take any half chance they get. And then obviously if they can take the lead, then it's whether or not they can do any business on the counter-attack. But this is all Man United already. They're playing such high intensity. I can only see one winner here.
Yeah, and a chance ball's whipped in.
No, to no one. But
yeah, you mentioned Paul Pogba there. He has been involved in 8 of his 15 Premier League goals under Solskjaer since Solskjaer arrived, and 4 goals and 4 assists. So he has been on fire since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has arrived. Glenn, let's come to our feature game, Liverpool versus Palace. We're only 4 and a bit minutes in. How have Liverpool started?
Yeah, they started on the front foot. Spent most of the time in their half, which is good news.
Yeah.
But not a great deal's happened so far.
It seems like Palace are very much set up to play on the counter-attack here with a lot of men behind the ball.
Yeah, and rightly so. You know, they're not going to want to concede early and give Liverpool the chance to go on and do whatever, you know.
It looks like they're going to try and make it at least very difficult for Liverpool. Will, grown in one of your games, what happened?
It was all Watford. The ball was bouncing around in the area and there was a looped header, and I think it was Ben Mee that cleared it off the line for Burnley. So they're surviving, and we've only had about 5 minutes, and it's all Watford.
What's happened there?
Chance Liverpool. Temps, let's go to you.
Yes.
Before the goals come flooding in, as they tend to do all at the same time.
Yes.
What have you got for us?
I've got a question from Jason, who says, who has been your favourite team to watch so far this season? Mine, personally, has been Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Good shout.
Because they're beating all the big teams, not just because of their 4-3 win today, but they are just a great team to watch against the big top 6.
Do you know what's interesting about Wolves? They've knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup, they've beaten Spurs, they've beaten Chelsea, they've drawn to Man City and drawn to Man United.
Yeah.
Yet they've lost to Cardiff, lost to Huddersfield, drawn to Fulham.
Very odd.
How can you even explain that?
Yeah, you can't,
so you're saying Wolves, other exciting teams? Glenn, most exciting team, do you think? Is it?
To be honest, other than Liverpool, I think Tottenham have been good to watch.
I like that answer.
I know you're not going to like that.
I like that answer. I think Glenn wins that. Tottenham have been exciting to watch.
I'll stop there then.
Why do you say that? Just because of the way that Poch sets up, very, very free-flowing attacking football?
Yeah, there's just always going to be goals, isn't there? Or certainly, if there's not going to be goals, it'd be exciting, or the keeper's got to play really well and make some great saves. So it's just, for the neutral, it's obviously good to watch.
Dave, we put an Arsenal in that category this season?
I'll be honest, Arsenal in the second half look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The whole 90 minutes, absolutely, not really the best. Who have I seen as exciting? I suppose I have to say Spurs. They are playing good football, aren't they?
Spurs are right. Obviously, Man City as well. We have to say Man City.
Yeah, Man City.
Your game's still 0-0 in all of them. Let's talk about the game that you're very excited about, Newcastle versus Cardiff. What have you seen from that so far?
To be fair, much to my dismay, Cardiff have started quite poorly. Newcastle, like much in the attacking third to start with, and Neil Warnock looking a bit worried in the Bournemouth. Bournemouth West Ham game. Andy Carroll starting up front for West Ham, because no Arnautovic. So hopefully he gets a full night in. It'd be good to see him.
Yeah, Arnautovic's not in the squad, so do we read into that he's off?
Big time. He had his bag at the airport already, didn't he? Send him a little picture.
That is unconfirmed reports that his bag's in the airport, by the way. That's not Sky sources, that's... What happened, Will?
Scottish... our English Messi, David Brooks at the back post, should have done better, but it went wide, probably about 4 yards.
He's Welsh, isn't he?
Welsh.
David Brooks?
Pardon?
He's Welsh, David Brooks?
Yeah, born in England.
OK,
and
well done. What happened?
That was...
Thanks, Smithy. Ball across, I think it was Callum Wilson, and then David Brooks, the Welsh legend.
Chance for Man United. Dave, your game. Pogba again.
He's had a
dominating the game by looks of it.
Deep run from midfield. He just looks like a completely different place, playing with such confidence.
Yeah.
But then, Brian, you've got to close it down. You know what I mean? You can't have United have it all their own way.
It's all Man United by the looks of it in that game.
Brian had a bit of a chance where they managed to break the ball down to their right, managed to get the ball at least into Man United's area, but they didn't do much with it. Yeah, and in that game as well, Marcus Rashford is making, should I say, his 150th United appearance today, 40 goals. Better United goal rate than Cristiano Ronaldo after 150 games, which is incredible. He's also a 7-2 price boost to score the first goal today with Sky Bet. 7-2 price boost. Don't forget, you must be 18+. Full terms and conditions apply. Glenn, not a lot of chances so far. I know we're only in the first 10 minutes, but Palace are very much setting up on the back foot to try and looks like they're trying to frustrate Liverpool.
Definitely, yeah. And even in the first 5 or so minutes, they're dropping very deep. I've not even seen them on the ball yet.
No, it's all Liverpool. Is that frustrating when you were playing, that sometimes... We speak to a lot of ex-players that say sometimes that they prefer playing against teams that attack them because it gives them more space. When a team does sit back, I mean, talking about Wolves earlier, the teams they've done better against the ones that attack them. Is it frustrating when you play against a team, especially when you're at Chelsea and you're winning the league? You must have been playing against teams that set up to defend against you. Definitely,
yeah. You play against more teams that approach the game in this way than come and go toe-to-toe with you. But it's one of them games you just obviously try and stay patient and pick the right moments, but it's almost like you have to score early and then they've got to come out and then you go and get the 3 points quite comfortably.
But it's also, I guess you would like know that anyway before the game. You know, like also particularly at home, that they're going to sit, they're going to put, you know, 2 like kind of rows of 4, maybe even 5 players, whatever. So, yeah,
exactly. In games like this, it's like people need to also start shooting from further out.
Yeah, just
to make them come onto you a bit more, and then even not so much even to try and score, just just to make them think about something else.
And also, Palace, they are actually set up as a counter-attacking team because they have got a lot of players with pace on the pitch. And Zaha's, the Townsend. If anyone can sit back and play counter-attacking football. And we saw them... Liverpool must be thinking of the Palace-Man City game because exactly what they did to Man City, and it was an unbelievable result, that, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And obviously anyone that can go to City and score 3 goals, you obviously have to you have to respect them.
Yeah. Oh. Dave, go on.
Well, it was a corner whipped in by Ashley Young and Lindelof has headed it wide, which was a shame.
OK, still 0-0. Let's go back to Social Corner.
Yes.
Questions from you, Temps?
Yeah, we have a question from M.3F.
Great name.
Who says,
good name.
Zaha is too good for Crystal Palace. What club should he leave for?
Ooh.
Yeah. Bit harsh.
I presume that's not a Palace fan that's written that.
I hope not.
Dave, what are your thoughts on that? We spoke about Zaha earlier as the danger man for Palace.
I think the thing is, I think he could... maybe not a City or like Liverpool, but I think like a top 16 he could definitely walk into. Maybe not walk it, but he could definitely get into that team.
Do you think he's the best player outside the top 6 in the Premier League?
Yes. I would say that. Yeah, I would say that.
Do you think, Glenn, he's in that tier of players that are not playing for top 16, but that next bracket, he's certainly up there, isn't he?
Yeah, of course, yeah. He's obviously one of the better players in the Premier League, without a doubt. For me, I just think he's just slightly too inconsistent, I'd guess.
Do you?
But,
yeah.
And that's probably why he's not at a big club.
Yeah. And worth pointing out, he was at United, Dave, as well, and didn't quite... Do you think he was given a, fair crack at Man United? He didn't play much football, did he?
No, he was Fergie's last signing,
yes,
wasn't it?
Correct,
Fergie's last signing. I don't think that was a particularly nice time to be a United player, to be honest. So, if you're like a young player, you kind of want to be playing in quite like a confident team, then you're gonna I would imagine you're gonna kind of progress a lot kind of quicker. In terms of getting him out of Crystal Palace, it is going to cost an awful lot of money. So I don't know who's going to...
Will Chance, goal in one of your games or a chance?
Chance, big save by Neil Etheridge, Isaac Hayden rising, and there's a chance there, I think, for Lerma for Bournemouth going through. Took you through the Newcastle one first, near post header, absolutely driven in. Etheridge reaction save, puts it over, and then Lerma going through for Bournemouth, who have started much the brighter side against Everton. Just getting a replay of it now. He might have been offside.
Yeah, he was.
Linesman did flag as well, and he put it wide. What an idiot.
It's a corner to Brighton.
And we were chatting about Wilfried Zaha earlier about his inconsistency, which is correct. He's not scored in his last 16 appearances, but prior to that, scored 8 in 10. So goes to show what Glenn and Dave were talking about with the inconsistency is the stats back that up. He is Palace's record scorer in the Premier League with 25 goals.
Go on!
And there's been a chance for Brighton. Dave.
Well,
Brighton, bit of pressure there.
It was half a chance. Nice ball whipped in. The striker managed to get his head onto it, but it was basically straight at David De Gea, and you're just not going to beat him from there, really.
No, David De Gea, of course, making a record amount of saves against Spurs, which we were live for the Football Social last Sunday for that game. More saves than any goalkeeper in the Premier League this season to give Man United that 1-0 win over Spurs.
Nice.
That's been very frustrating.
It was very frustrating. Well, what worse with the news of Harry Kane? Really. Yeah, I think I'll speak for most Spurs fans and say that news is more devastating than the result.
Do you think he'll come back quicker than they say?
I do.
He always does.
Because a lot of people haven't picked up on this, but Harry Kane had an ankle injury last season as well, and he came back. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks before the expected date. So. The report is that he's back in training in March, early March. Yeah, but obviously Spurs, around that time, have the Arsenal game, Champions League game against Dortmund, potentially, if they get past Chelsea in the second leg, the Carabao Cup final as well, which is all around the late Feb, early March time. So
you got Vincent Janssen, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, that segues to...
Go on. OK, next question. Let's move on from
Poppy. He says, do Spurs have enough cover to see them through?
Well, that's a great question.
No, I don't think they do. I think, and also, it's worth pointing out that, obviously, Heung-min Son has gone for the next 5 games, 3 Premier League matches. He's back in Asia playing for his country. So we've actually lost Son and Kane, who've been playing as a front 2 recently because of the diamond that Spurs play. So we've only actually got Llorente as a recognised, registered striker. So I think that Spurs will have to spend in Jan to have...
Do you think you'll be in a stadium by March?
From what I've heard is that the club are gearing towards a Crystal Palace game in March.
Is in March?
For the new stadium. If it's not ready then, and that hasn't been confirmed, then I don't know what happens there.
Surely you want to wait there.
Which is frustrating.
Yeah, you may as well wait.
Yeah, I mean,
it's bright sunshine, new stadium. Imagine that. Imagine the scenes.
Imagine it.
It'll be lovely, yeah.
Make yourselves.
It will be lovely.
Go on, Brian.
Another chance for Brighton, Dave.
Go on, finish!
He's offside, isn't he?
Oh, he's not. Is he on?
Done there.
Dave, talk us to what happened there.
Well, it was a nice little counter-attack. They've worked the ball quite well to try and give Glenn Murray an opportunity. And I don't know if it's good defending or if he's actually offside, because it wasn't...
Not, I don't think he's...
offside.
He is offside, but it's not given.
It's not given.
So this would have counted. It's a big chance for Brighton.
It was off. It was off.
The flag goes up.
So, yeah, half chance, but it was offside anyway.
So Man United's the better team, but Brighton are...
I think what's quite encouraging from an Arsenal point of view is they're at least starting to threaten a little bit, because the first 5, it was just all United. It was just one-way traffic. So at least they are now a threat going the other way.
OK, and in our main game, Liverpool Palace, Zaha is a price boost with Sky Bet. You can see it on your screen now. Zaha to score in 90 minutes is 10-1. You can get that with Sky Bet. Don't forget, you must be 18+, so that is a price boost on your screen right now. Anything from Zaha yet that you've seen, Glenn, in the game?
Absolutely zero at the minute. They've literally just got onto the ball and started to play their way into it a little bit, but nothing to report.
OK, so still 0-0 in that game. Still 0-0 in all the games. Chance in one of your games, Will?
Yeah, it could
What's
be
been
a
going on?
afternoon if it stays like this. Danny Ings with a...
We need a goal!
Danny Ings with a near-post header from a corner. Obviously, not one of the biggest men of the pitch, but rising like a salmon. And Pickford, I thought was a good save, but as Temps pointed out, it was quite a Hollywood save.
So Hollywood.
Tipping it past the post, but still 0-0. But Southampton have started stronger in that game.
You've not given us much information about Watford versus Burnley yet, Will. Is there anything to report for Burnley and Watford fans watching on this stream?
Well, they started off the Brighton team. Delafeu went through one-on-one. Tahita made the save, and I think it was Pereira had one off the line as well later on. So it was all Watford, but now it's sort of evened out. But we do need those goals.
Glenn, comes to you there. I didn't see what happened, but Mane is holding his ankle. Is this a serious injury? Do you think he'll play on?
No, he'll be fine. He's just had a little kick on top of the foot. He'll run that off, look.
He's right, and you're right. Yes, he's back on the pitch already.
There you go. Magic sponge again.
How many times did you play fully fit when you were playing? Because players get so many knocks throughout a game. Is it a regular thing that you'd have a knock and you just never want to come off, unless it's a serious injury, of course, but you'd always want to stay on the pitch?
Yeah. Well, obviously, for me personally, I've only ever walked off the pitch when I've been out for probably at least 6 weeks.
Right.
You always... Everyone wants to stay on the field if possible, but like you say, you'd only come off if you really can't move.
And Liverpool needs Sadio Mane, and he's back on the pitch, and he's looks like he's fine. And it's all Liverpool. And every single Palace player behind the ball, they've got 11 men behind the ball. It's all Liverpool at the minute. I'd love to see the possession stats for this game. But the danger is cleared once again. Yep. So whilst it's still 0-0, Temps, social corner. Just remind the viewers how they can get in touch again.
Tweet at Football Daily, at SoccerAM, hashtag the Football Social. And our next question is from Mark Coldwell. We're going all the way down to the Championship for this question, and also my favourite story of the season so far.
Oh, wow, it's a big shout.
What do you guys think of the Leeds United Spygate? Ooh. Should they be punished for it?
No. Should we come to our Championship guru, Will Brazier?
You can do, but there's a big incident in the Newcastle game. Newcastle wanting a penalty for a handball, but the arm, you know, safe in position, like you've just broken your arm in a cast in there. Yeah. Not a handball for me, so Newcastle not getting a penalty. Bielsa, legend. Didn't break any laws.
Legend.
Should do more of it, and I love the way he's owned it. He said, I've done it since 2002. I'll do it again. I'll keep on doing it.
Really good. That is Will's Will thinks. Glenn, do you agree with Will there?
Well, I've got to, yeah.
It's an interesting incident, isn't it? The spying, you know, the fact that he was there behind the bushes and he admitted to doing it more than once. Not Bielsa, no. It wasn't Bielsa behind the bushes, but he was aware that it was someone from Leeds there. Have you ever witnessed anything like that or heard of anything like that when you were playing?
Yeah, you do, the odd occasion. Certainly at Melwood, where you've only got sort of a 7-foot fence all the way around the perimeter, and you get some people turn up quite regular and just take photos or film certain things, and some information would get leaked. Yeah.
Really? And I've been to Melwood, and they've got the famous wall. Did you ever see people peering over the wall? Or
stood on bins. They used to take the bins from the houses around the side and just stand on top of the bins and then obviously film what they could.
And how the players react when you see someone peering over the wall at Melwood?
It's quite funny, isn't it?
So you're not bothered about tactics, Big Lee?
No, not really.
There you go.
It's just a bit of banter, isn't it?
Dave, your thoughts on Spygate?
I don't really see anything wrong with it, to be honest. I would imagine it kind of happens anyway. He's just been caught, hasn't he? Like, you know, I would imagine this kind of thing happens it's just about trying to get any kind of advantage you can. And Has he actually broken the law, though? Is it against the
No, it's not.
law?
We don't
of the
again.
game? It's not.
But also, it's not even like half the tactics are pretty obvious anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. Right, yeah.
What's he really going to gain?
Yeah.
Like, it's not end of the world.
Lampard made the point that it was the day before the game when they were doing shape and tactical work, that they got a lot from it. So, go on, Will.
He said they've done it on every team this year. Do you know the first team to beat Leeds United at Ellen Road this year?
Was it Birmingham City?
Correct, it was Birmingham City. So homework doesn't really count for anything in that case.
So, Glenn, in case you hadn't worked out, Will is a very big Birmingham City fan, and he will spend at least 10 minutes of the show talking about Birmingham City. Should we get out of the way now, Will? Is there anything you want to add about Birmingham this weekend?
Disappointing result last night. Everton going close there against Norwich. Just subpar performance, and I think we're out of playoff place now.
I love how Will is always working, even when he's asking a question. He's still commentating one of the games. Dave, come to you quickly. What happened in your game? Chance United?
It was actually a big chance. The ball kind of worked quite well down the right-hand side of United's attack. The ball just kind of found its way to United striker, and he's struck it well. But the Brighton defenders managed to kind of not quite clear it off the line, but it was definitely goal bound. So it was a good bit of defending. But I think he probably should have scored.
OK. Liverpool on the attack here, Glenn. But
they're getting closer.
Of the Palace half when the ball was clear, there wasn't a single Palace player in Liverpool's half.
No, that's why it keeps coming straight back.
We don't have the possession stats, but I imagine it's very heavily towards Liverpool.
Big time.
We do have it, actually. It's over 75% possession for Liverpool, and they've got a corner. Surely it's just a matter of time before
it looks
they
that
score.
way. It does look that way.
Disallowed goal at Dean Court, sorry, Smithy.
I love the fake put your hand up, Will. That was very teacher-esque, wasn't it? Polite.
Well, one teacher actually taught me once we had a stats examiner in to put both hands up if you knew the answer and just one hand if you didn't, so he looked like the whole class was well informed. Callum Wilson, it was Nathan Ake with a headed goal, but there was a foul adjudged to be on the keeper by Callum Wilson, but didn't look like too much in it. It might have been...
Chance in the Man United game as well, Dave? Pogba?
Yes, Paul Pogba with an overhead kick, and it has gone about half a yard wide, but it is all Man United now. I believe it's only moments, or I think United are going to score.
Let's stick with you because Man United have got
a
corner right now.
Is it going to be Ashton Gang? He's been on set piece duty for most of this game, so there's a bit of a little bit like wrestling going on in the Brighton area.
A bit heated, isn't it? Was there?
It's nice. I like it. So the ball's about to be whipped in, but because of the pushing and shoving, it's not happening yet.
Here it comes.
Short
corner.
Well worked. Back post.
Rashford!
Rubbish. Anthony Martial. No, it's Rashford.
Rashford, yeah.
Yeah, so wide. But,
how's he played? Marcus Rashford making his 150th United appearance.
He was a player that had the chance that probably should have scored. But yeah, he's playing all right. He's in the right place to actually have the opportunities, which is all you can really ask for, other than actually scoring. So.
Glenn, what's your thoughts on Rashford? Are you a fan of his? Obviously, he plays in different positions. What do you make of him?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, to be honest. I think he could be the next superstar.
Do you?
Yeah.
That good?
Yeah, I do. He seems to have everything in his game.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, so I don't know what he's like as a lad, but to have that many appearances for a team or a club like Manchester United at that age, then...
Good point.
There's not many kids that do that.
Where do you think his best position is? Because it's interesting that Solskjaer's playing him as a number 9. We've seen him play out wide. Where would, if you were the manager of Man United, where would you play Marcus Rashford?
I would like to play him either left or the right of the striker.
Would you? Yeah.
Just so, because with that pace, I'd just love to see him run at everyone as soon as he gets the ball.
Yeah.
And by doing that, he'll cause so many problems, and then people have to start doubling up and get more room for everybody else. So I'd like to have him in as much room as possible.
Yeah, he's a good World Cup as well. It's a bit important. First goal of the day, Will Brazier, talk us through it.
I think it's sharp, and Newcastle, Warnock's dreams of staying up are nearly... Well, they're not over, but Newcastle are 1-0 up. They have been dominating this game, and it's the centre-back working his way through, and he's put a left-footed, like, a curled shot around the keeper, a very cultured finish. Sorry, I thought there was a goal for Sami Nasri, but it's 1-0 to Newcastle.
Here's the replay, Will.
Look at this, worked it well on the right-hand side, and then it's almost Barcelona-esque from Newcastle up at St James's Park. They're working it well, and then I don't know how the centre-backs got in this position. I think they're playing 5 at the back today. On a mazy run, look at this, no one's stopping him. Look at that.
Absolute maze up, look.
If your strikers can't score, centre-backs step up, and it's 1, 2, 3, around the 4th one, and past the keeper.
Lovely cultured finish with his left foot into the bottom corner. First goal goal of the day. Newcastle 1, Cardiff 0. Rafa Benitez needs this result, Will, doesn't he?
We needed that more than anything for the stream, Smithy. But Rafa Benitez needs that, and it'll be a big marker down there for obviously a 6-pointer today, as they love to say. I love the cliches.
Yeah, it's a long time without a goal, isn't it?
What are we on now?
24 minutes for the first goal. That is the longest time without a goal for a while on the Football Social.
It's a lot of padding.
Glenn, former fullback yourself, let's talk fullbacks. Liverpool without Trent Alexander-Arnold today. I imagine he's a player that you've been very impressed with. New deal for Liverpool as well. Yep. Local lad. Fans seem to love him. He's just got everything to his game, hasn't he? Yeah.
And I think the same as Rashford. I think he could be the next big one.
Yeah.
He looks really composed on the ball, and obviously for Liverpool to secure him for the extra few years is great news for the club.
Yeah, 5-year deal. And again, you're making the point about Rashford, the amount of appearances he's had at a young age. The same applies for Trent. He's a regular for Liverpool every game, isn't he?
Well, he's probably he's probably one of the first names on the team. And I think, what is he, 18, 19 years old or something? Yeah. So it's obviously great for him, and another local lad in the team is
penalty to Manchester United.
And Robertson as well. New deal for Liverpool. Penalty to Man United against Brighton. It could be the first goal of the day at Old Trafford.
Going to save it.
We've only had one goal in our other games. That is at St James's Park, but we haven't had a goal at Old Trafford yet. Here is the penalty. Dave, penalty for you?
Yes, Paul Pogba is running at players.
Oh, is this a pen?
Yeah, I think it was. It was quite stupid defending, if I'm being
Glenn, penalty for you or no penalty?
yeah, it's a pen.
He sort of goes through.
He doesn't really tackle him.
He doesn't really tackle him. He loses his footing, but there is contact. It's quite soft, though, isn't it?
It is soft, but you know, as soon as he's going to get any kind of contact, then he's going to go down. So it's quite stupid defending. But you know, he's
Yeah, it's clumsy.
Silly.
Clumsy at best.
But I fancy United to take the lead here.
And do we expect Paul Pogba to take the penalty as the man in form? Most goals and assists recently for Man United. Dave, do you expect Paul Pogba to take it? Do you expect to see this slow Paul Pogba run-up we've seen this season?
Yes, and I expect to see him score as well.
Doesn't it just make you really anxious when he's running up the spot?
Yeah.
Oh,
as a United fan, it would, wouldn't it?
Oh, even me, I just can't stand it. Just put it in, lad.
Yeah, Paul Pogba will stay with Dave. Paul Pogba been involved in 8 of 15 Premier League goals, 4 goals and 4 assists since Solskjaer arrived, compared to a lot less under Jose Mourinho. But he is standing over the penalty. It looks like it's Paul Pogba to take the penalty. Dave, let's stick with you for the pen.
Yes, and he's had a long time to think about this, because there was a Brighton player down injured. He's had a bit of kind of treatment, and I think the Brighton keeper looks confident. You know, I've got a lot of faith in this Brighton goalkeeper.
Do you?
Yeah, look at him. He's in his big yellow kit. He's going to...
Is that a factor, the colour of the kit he's wearing?
Big time.
There's a bit of a delay here, which is killing Dave Jackson at the minute.
Good tactics.
Look at him. He's got his arms out.
Will we see the famous Paul Pogba delayed, stuttered run-up? Here we go.
He's put the ball down.
Oh, no.
No, we won't.
You don't think we will, Thames?
You reckon Solskjaer's had a word with him?
I think he's going to save this.
It's a shorter run-up. Dave, you think save?
Yeah, he's going to save
Glenn,
it.
save or goal?
No, I think he'll score.
Score, I think score.
Wide.
Guys, quickly.
Wide.
Wide?
Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
Will, goal, yes or no?
Goal for Pogba.
Oh,
the slow run-up is coming. Paul Pogba for the penalty spot, and it's in the back of the net.
You don't see it.
It is Manchester United 1, Brighton 0. Paul Pogba, the man in form under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Been involved in 8 goals recently under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's just added to that tally from the penalty spot. Keeper went the right way. Didn't get his hand to it. It's in the back of the net. Man United 1, Brighton 0.
Such a cheap goal, right? Stupid penalty, and now club win this
top
quite
goal
easily.
Scorer, Dave. 10 goals this
To
season.
be fair, you can't say they haven't deserved it.
What about this celebration?
Oh, push.
Has he just had a baby? I think there's 3 Man United players who've recently just had babies, haven't they? So maybe that's what
They
it's
are.
about. Yeah.
They are.
I can't tell you who they are because I don't really care.
I think it's Lukaku, Matic, and Pogba.
Fred as well, I think.
I think they're the 3. But here is the penalty again. Keeper goes the right way. Oh, it's side netting.
No, it's actually
off
a
the
very
post.
good penalty.
There is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer celebrating with Michael Carrick. Oh, everything going right for Man United today. Man United fans, get involved in the stream. Let us know what your thoughts are on Paul Pogba, on Man United, on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We will go to Social Corner now. Temps, what are people talking about?
Well, we need to cheer Dave Jackson up a little bit, I think.
Mate.
So we've got a question from Football.nation.
OK.
Who should Arsenal bring in on loan in January?
It's stupid. We can only sign players on loan in the first place.
What
is going on?
Liverpool.
Who should we sign? Well, we need a new centre-half. I think we need a new left-back, but that can probably wait till the summer. We don't really need strikers. I don't know.
I think about Denis Suarez.
I don't know. Like that to me seems a bit of like it seems a bit of a panic thing. It's like, you know, is he going to add that much value? Whereas we definitely need a new centre half because Rob Holding's not going to be back for another nine months or something, is it, or something like that?
Most of the season. Yeah.
So if we can find a very good centre half who wants to come on loan and is not happy at their current club, then come on down and give us a call. But
it's full-backs as well, midfielder.
The thing is, I think like our like to see like the
right back.
That can be. No, we're right for that. Well, we're like
Glenn
okay for strikers.
Arsenal says you got a man in. There you go.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to come to Arsenal on loan, give us a call. You know what I mean?
What do you make of the Ozil situation, Glenn? Obviously, it looks like he's on very high wages at Arsenal, which isn't his fault. It's it's a situation that he's in. But the fact that he's there on those wages, not only not playing, but he's not even been in squads. Surely they've got to look at freeing funds up if they're to bring players up by letting him go elsewhere.
If he's not even getting into squads, then of course, I totally agree. But the big question is, why is he not in the squad? Because he's obviously a fantastic player. I don't know if he's been out of form or injuries or fallen out with the club or whatever. Obviously, I'll never know. But he's one of the players that deserves those wages because he's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
But you think on his day,
not playing?
Mesut Ozil one of the best in the Premier League?
I think he's really good. I think he's special.
Dave, it's a good point, Glenn makes. Why isn't he playing?
Well, I don't really understand it. Again, if he's fit, he should be playing. And if he's not in his plans, then he needs to be moved on very, very quickly so we can free up funds. It just seems a bit
one or the other, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can't.
It's like,
Is there also an issue that people are going to struggle to take him on those wages though, because he's at the latter stages of his career, so he's going to have to go. If he's demanding those wages, there's going to be only a certain pool of clubs that are going to.
Well, I heard a little rumour this week that he might be going to Inter Milan and we might be subsidising his wages, which to me is just play him. He's one of our best players. I do not understand what's going on.
I don't get what the loan deal Arsenal get from loaning Mesut Ozil out.
Stupid, because
he's not a young player.
He's still on the
contract.
Player. Yeah, there's going to be no resale value. No. It's either he either comes into our team and we kind of build a team around him to an extent, and then he's based our staff for the next couple of years, which is what I think Wenger would have done, or he needs to be moved on. And it's not necessarily about getting a transfer fee, it's about getting his wages off the book so we can free up that expense to go and find someone else.
Corner for Brighton, Dave. Short corner.
Yeah. Out wide.
Doesn't look like it's leading to much.
No, it's in.
Oh, ball's back
post.
Whipped
Got
in,
Johnson.
good ball. And it's Johnson. Glenn, speaking of loans, Dave's getting excited on any Brighton attack. Oh! Glenn, chance for Liverpool. I missed that. Was that Virgil van Dijk?
Flick header, I think.
How good is Van Dijk?
Here we go. Let's talk us through this.
Free kick, I think it was.
Milner with a
good ball in. Ooh. Did it come off his shoulder?
Is that Liverpool's biggest chance so far?
Yeah. There's a half a chance a minute ago, but that was definitely the best chance so far.
Talking of loan deals, Glenn, I'm right in thinking you were at West Ham and you went on loan to Millwall from West Ham. Now, we all know that the rivalry between West Ham and Millwall is quite heated. So how did you find that? And what was your reaction when you found out that you were going to go on loan to Millwall from West Ham? That must have been an interesting situation.
Yeah, of course. Before you actually go, I'm thinking, is this the right thing to do?
Yeah, I bet.
But obviously, I was keen to play football, and obviously they showed enthusiasm to have me there, so I thought, well, that's obviously a good start. And then obviously, I just thought if I do well, then things will be fine.
You saved.
And I seemed to play well majority of the time, so I got on really well with the fans, and actually it was a really good time in my career. And even now, the Millwall fans always tell me that they made me and this.
Really, did they? Brilliant.
So it's it's all good.
And was it right, fine with the fans, with West Ham, with Millwall, with the fans? West Ham fans were good with you as well.
Yeah,
fans?
Generally no problems whatsoever.
Brilliant.
Obviously, if I went there and was rubbish, I'm sure it would have been a bit different.
And that must have been. I know that Millwall fans will claim that, and it's you played well, and it was a young point of your career, but that must have been a real sort of learning curve for you. And looking back on it now that you've retired, a big moment in your career, going out and getting regular game time.
Definitely, yeah. And it's pretty much the first time you step into men's football. I was like 18 years old, 17, 18 years old. And that's your sort of sink or swim moment.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, obviously I played with some unbelievable kids when we was younger in the youth teams and stuff, and when they went out on loan, it just never clicked.
Really?
It never happened.
Yeah.
Then they're going on loan again and again, and then they're kind of chasing their tail. So it's almost like you've got to take that moment when it comes.
Oh, chance for Palace. Goal!
Oh, chance!
Palace!
Goal!
Isn't it? Again.
Liverpool Palace game. Oh, having an in-depth
shock on the cards here, Smith.
Glenn, we didn't call this. 33 minutes gone. Talking about it. Liverpool 0, Palace 1. Wow, we're just looking at Roy Hodgson there, and it's Andros Townsend again, the man in form.
It was Wilfried Zaha with the assist, did really, really well.
Zaha with the assist.
Pulled it back, yeah.
Let's have a look at it. Attempts can talk us through it.
I caught the end.
He
Here we go.
skinned your man and then pulled it back to Townsend.
Definitely onside. Zaha, lovely bit of play from Zaha past Milner. And Townsend with the finish.
It's picked out, isn't it?
Glenn, this is a good goal, isn't it, for Palace?
It is a good goal, yeah. And unfortunately for Liverpool there, you've got Zaha at his best when he's one-on-one with that much space against somebody out of position. But
as a former fullback yourself, got to ask about the defending from Liverpool's perspective. Should they be doing better, Milner? Obviously not the quickest, but... Yeah,
of course you'd like to see him defend slightly better than that. Unfortunately, they haven't got Trent there.
No.
But it's one of those, you kind of expected him to go down the line, but he is obviously very quick with that much room, so it's not easy to defend against.
And as fantastic as Milner's been, it's worth pointing out, Milner's been one of their informed players this season. To be fair to him, he's not a right-back.
No.
Would Liverpool have looked at that pre-game, the fact that Zaha, we've all said, is their biggest threat going forward on James Milner, would they have looked at that as a potential area to exploit? Because that's exactly where the goal came from.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Liverpool are probably relying on the fact that they're going to have the ball 80% of the time. And how many times is Zaha actually going to get one-on-one with Millie? Then, but obviously he has once, and he's obviously been a bit dangerous, so it's not ideal.
So it's Liverpool 0, Palace 1. So Crystal Palace, who opened the door up for Liverpool by beating Man City, now opening the door back up for Man City by being 1-0 up against Liverpool. So for Crystal Palace having a big thing to say in the title race. Chance in one of your games, Will Brazier?
Yeah, there's been a few. Burnley, Ashley Barnes with a header straight into Ben Foster, who was about 8 yards out and should have done a lot better. And then also in the Southampton-Everton game, my friend, because he follows me on Twitter, Nathan Redmond hitting the post with a left-footed drive at the outside of the post, but a good chance for Southampton, and it has been all Southampton.
He follows everyone on Twitter, Nathan Redmond, doesn't he?
No, if you check his following account, he follows a select few people.
OK. And a chance for Brighton. Dave, what happened in that game?
It was Glenn Murray. Decent bit of play from Brighton, kind of lovely ball played over top. He's managed to keep himself onside, and I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting for Glenn Murray to score, but he's kind of shanked it, and the ball spun off the wrong side of the goal. There was also a massive chance for Anthony Martial. A lovely ball over the top from Lindelof, and Martial, he's kind of brought the ball down fantastically. Managed to get a strike away, but then it was a really good save from the Brighton goalkeeper.
And there's a clash of heads. Is this?
They'll be fine. They'll throw a bit of like Space Jam water on them, and they'll be like kind of back on, mate. Don't want
to chance for Liverpool, Glenn.
Yeah, Millie trying to redeem himself there. He's come inside. I think it was Sacco there. Just got the block. Yeah, it's a good
handball.
Block.
It's a great block.
Would have been nice to see him score that.
Former Liverpool player, of course, Mamadou Sakho, who I interviewed in the week, incidentally. That'll be on Soccer's YouTube channel next week.
We'll just pick that one up.
Mamadou Sakho FIFA versus crowbarring in the promotion of other features at any possible opportunity. So few games, got a few goals. Man United 1-0 up Liverpool, 1-0 down. Man City fans will be absolutely loving this result so far. Will, anything else going on in your games? We came to you briefly. While there's a bit of a quiet moment in our feature games, just talk us through what's going on in your games. Yeah, Burnley coming back into it really strong. Watford had the better start, and there was it was an interesting incident in the Newcastle game. It was an accidental kick in the head, but Iosi Perez on the floor. Lee Peltier was coming back and caught him right in the mush. Oh, is he OK? I think he's all right. He's survived and is playing on, so maybe a little face mask for him, but he might look good in one. You never know. Temps, let's go to Social Corner. What are people talking about?
Daniel Dan Melnick.
Daniel Dan.
Gave him his full name. That's such a shout out for you. Who do you reckon Mourinho will manage next? Because he said, I think he came out the other day and said he's too young to retire. So who do you reckon? That's a very tough question. Portugal? People are saying that's Inter. Not a bad shout. Like, as in, like, the Portugal national. I always thought Mourinho would end his career with the Portugal national team until Portugal then won the Euros. So I thought that they've already peaked. You know, and I just think. He can't surpass what they've... Well, I'm not saying he can't, they've got good players, but I think it's going to be very difficult to surpass that achievement. I can't imagine him at a national team. He loves spending money in the transfer window, doesn't he? Glenn, do you think... Do you see him coming back in the Premier League ever, or do you think Jose Mourinho is done with managing in the Premier League?
It's a good question. I'd like to see him managing the Premier League, but then it'd be a case of where. Yeah. You know him. Could you message him and ask him for us? While we're... That'd be an unbelievable exclusive, wouldn't it? Also kicking off with Mo Salah.
Instantly, price boost on your screen right now. Townsend to score a brace was 20-1. It's now 22-1. That is on your screen. Price boost with Sky Bet. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. And conditions apply. Will, are you OK?
Yeah, no, I should have bought my inhaler. No, Ashley Barnes with an absolute sitter. He's onside as well. Keeper's come out. He's in the 6-yard box. So he must be more than 3 yards out, and he's volleyed it, half volley, and it's gone well wide. Oh, he's onside. Oh, what's he done? Burnley should be 1-0 up.
OK, so Burnley should be 1-0 up. They're not... bit of an incident going on, Glenn, in your game, Liverpool Palace. Mo Salah's not happy. Is he claiming a penalty here?
I think he wants a pen, yeah. He's kind of backing into Sacco there, and he's taking a little kick on the leg, but...
Not a pen for you?
Don't think it's a pen.
No. Yeah, Mo Salah very unhappy. Sacco and Salah having a few incidents there, a few fiery tackles. Salah wanting the pen, not given, so it's still Liverpool 0, Palace 1, 40-minute mark we're approaching, so 5 minutes to go before half-time. Get your questions in on the stream now, because we will be firing your questions to Glenn Johnson and to all of the panel, of course, at the half-time stage. Will, what's going on? Big chance in one of your games.
Danny Ings absolutely weaving his way through the box, and he didn't get the shot off it. It's come off Zuma's boot, and it's hit the post and bounced out, and Everton survived for another day.
Dave Jackson, Brighton.
Oh, yeah, Brighton. No, it was a bit of a half chance, but they are getting a bit closer. They are having a bit of joy. They're having a bit of joy. If they didn't see that stupid penalty, it would have been a fantastic first 40 minutes of Brighton.
Will, back to you. I'm looking at your games here. So much going on in your games.
Yeah, Danny, it's I think it's come off Andre Gomez, but look at this one from Delafeu outside of the box and just curling it wide. But look how lucky Everton are, ball bouncing around, and Coleman smacked it away, nearly taking out Pickford in the process.
Thank you very much, Will. You're enjoying it, Will, aren't you?
I am, mate, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Just wait until 3 goals come in at the same time in the second half.
That's the best bit. That's what we live
quite
for.
low scoring so far, so we're expecting goals galore in the second half. Temps has come to you for the social corner.
Yep, we have a question from Gary. He says, which club needs to invest the most in January?
Good question.
Spurs. I think, Spurs for obvious reasons. I think Newcastle as well find themselves in a precarious situation where they haven't spent... You know, Michael Owen is still Newcastle's record transfer.
I did see something...
10 or 11 years ago.
Like that, yeah.
And I think there's a danger that Newcastle are a very low-scoring side if they don't spend... and obviously we all read the reports that Rafa's very unhappy with the lack of spend that they're doing. Mike Ashley's looking to sell the club, but they haven't sold it yet. I think Newcastle are in a dangerous situation. If they don't spend, they could find themselves slipping. And I think it's obviously more important for the teams at the bottom to spend because.
Surely, I feel like that's a strange thing, right? Because surely the value of the club, like if they were to go down, Mike Ashley needs to, if he needs to spend now to get probably an extra 100 million while they're still in the Premier League.
To keep them in the Premier.
Yeah, to get them.
It's more attractive to sell them as a Premier League club.
Yeah, exactly. It seems a bit strange.
Any other clubs that should spend? Spurs, of course, a striker with Kane out and Son away for a month.
Centre mid.
Centre mid as well, yeah. Moussa Dembele off.
How long is Sissoko out for?
Sissoko's out for 2 weeks, Will.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Spurs. Any other clubs, Dave, that you chuck into the mix or Glenn? Need to spend? I mean, Huddersfield, I suppose, they find themselves 20th in the table is an obvious one. But I mean, is there any hope for Huddersfield that it's a tough situation for them?
It's almost like they might have to start planning for life in the Championship. So maybe look to bring in some players now that are about to bring them straight back up. But I don't know. That seems like that's not the right attitude to have for your club, is it? That you're already planning for the next season. But it's difficult. Oh, goal for Manchester United.
Oh, goal for United. Dave, talk us through it in as long as you like as an Arsenal fan who will franchise below Man United in the league.
Marcus Rashford scored a very good finish here. He is in the area. He's beaten one player and he's kind of just placed the ball top right-hand corner. It was actually a very, very extremely good finish from the young man. Well done, Marcus Rashford. How many goals is that now, Smithy?
He's on his 150th appearance. He scored 40 goals. Scored in 3 successive Premier League games for the first time in his career. 6 goals in his last 9 appearances. Scored just 3 in 29 before that. So, again, he's another player that is completely changed under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's a fantastic goal, Dave, isn't it?
It is an extremely good goal. And
Glenn, you were saying you'd play him out wide or, behind. He's come from out wide, weaved his way in and scored. So, again, finding a lot of joy in that position.
How tight that is as well. Obviously, I was saying earlier I want to see him in more space, but he just showed there how good he is in tight spots.
Yeah. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a chance for Liverpool, Glenn?
He's not, is he?
Oh!
What? I thought it was going to go in then.
What happened there? It was a shot from distance.
Yeah, I think it was a bad shot for Fabinho there, and
was it Robertson?
Tried to
Here we go. Here it is.
Oh. Yeah, it's a long range, Fabinho, and I think he was onside there. So
it was. It would have been a freak goal, but it was Another shot on target for Liverpool. It's been all Liverpool, possession-wise. 75% possession, we told you earlier, in the first half an hour. But they find themselves 1-0 down. Is this a situation where do they need to change it, or is it just a case of don't panic, Jurgen Klopp says, and keep doing more of the same? Or at what point does desperation set in because they have to win this, or certainly avoid defeat Liverpool? Yeah,
they certainly don't want to lose this game. But it's the worst-case scenario at the moment. You know, how deep they were going before, and now they've got the lead. That's just going to make them defend for their lives even more. And as I said earlier, if Liverpool got the first goal, Palace would have to come out. Well, now it's the opposite. They're going to go back and just try and make it even uglier in the game. But like I say, they need to be patient, keep popping it around, and
a goal now before half-time would be exactly what Jurgen Klopp wants. But they find themselves clearing the danger again, not fully cleared. Still Liverpool in the attack. Interesting, in the Man United game, for those wondering, Diogo Dalot is starting. That was a very late replacement for Luke Shaw, who was taken ill in the warm-up. So that was a very late change just before the start of the game. And a bit of a strong tackle on Marcus Rashford there, Dave, in your game.
Yeah, it was a nice tackle.
And another one in your game, Glenn.
Yeah, Mane and Townsend.
You can talk us through
this?
It's
like a 50-50. Townsend slid in.
Oh! Is this a... Should this be red for Mane?
Red?
No.
No, not red?
No.
No, okay, I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying it should. It was a strong tackle, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just half a second late, wasn't he?
OK, and 2 minutes of injury time up at Anfield.
So Man United are completely in control of this game, to be honest with you. It's not great to watch.
Any chance at all for Brighton fans watching?
They had chances.
Because you were quite positive of them before the goal.
They had chances. They didn't take it, and now this game's done. Done and dusted.
Glenn, you want to go to the toilet?
Do I want to?
Yeah, you can go.
If I'm allowed to, yeah.
Glenn, you can go right now. We'll be joining us at half-time. There you go, Glenn. We'll keep you updated with the Liverpool game and get your questions into Glenn, because during half-time we will be getting your questions to Glenn Johnson.
Turn his mic off, we don't worry about that.
Yeah, we'll turn his mic down, don't worry. 45 minutes... No! Oh, there's a goal! No, there's not! Will, what was that scream?
Absolute. Ball's been pinged across in the 6-yard box, and Troy Deeney's met it with an absolute half-volley straight into the keeper, and it's pinged away. He should have done better, but he's anticipated it well. It's a great save from Tom Heaton, and he's battered it away, and it's still 0-0. Chris Wood went close for Burnley down the other end. Great hold-up play by him. And in the Cardiff versus Newcastle versus Cardiff game, Camarasa with a 25-yarder that went very close, but it's still 1-0 to Newcastle. And it's half-time in Bournemouth.
Yes, it is half-time, our first half-time of the day so far at the Vitality Stadium. These are the scenes. It is Bournemouth 0, West Ham 0. Nothing to report, anything to report whatsoever, Will, in this game. Who's been the better of the first half?
There was a disallowed goal for Bournemouth. Nathan Aké put the ball in with his head, but I think Wilson was either offside or put a foul in on the keeper. But apart from that, Samir Nasri went very close for West Ham. But pretty even, to be fair. I think Samir Nasri probably had the best chance, to be honest.
So Samir Nasri the best chance, but it is goalless at the Vitality Stadium. Not a great deal to talk about. We expect goals. We hope for goals. There should be goals. We'll try and bring you goals if there is at the Vitality Stadium in the second half. That is the first half-time of the day. Both our feature games still going on.
Just been second half-time, Liverpool game. Ref's drawn a whistle.
The ref has blown the whistle at Anfield. So it's been all Liverpool. These are the scenes at Anfield. We gave you the stats. 75% possession Liverpool had in the first half an hour. It was all Liverpool. 11 men behind the ball. But the game plan for Palace has worked superbly. It is Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 1. Andros Townsend, again, the man in form, with the only goal of the game so far after 34 minutes. Wilfried Zaha with a great build-up play down the left-hand side, cutting past James Milner, whipping the ball in. Andros Townsend, back of the net. See you later. 1-0 Palace. These are the half-time scenes. So great first half for Crystal Palace, and lots to do for Jurgen Klopp's men in the second half.
It's a corner for Man United.
Corner for Man United, Dave.
No. Chance.
Oh, saved.
You know what I'm really worried about is that Man United is starting to get that fear factor back, which I don't think they had for the last 3 or 4 months. And it's like, you know, it's particularly going to Old Trafford. I think teams don't want to go there anymore. Whereas, you know, kind of the last days of Rome, as it were, with Mr. Jose Mourinho, it was like it was almost like teams thought they could go there and actually get a result. Whereas now, that fear is gone.
Will is
no, it's half-time.
There's another half-time scene. The half-time whistle has gone. at Newcastle, St James's Park. These are the scenes at St James's Park. It is Newcastle 1, Cardiff 0. Massive game at the bottom of the table. Fabian Schär with the only goal of the game so far after 24 minutes. Lots of work for Neil Warnock's men to do at half-time. Will he make any changes? If he does, Will Brazier will give you all of the updates in the second half. And the half-time whistle has gone in one of our feature games at Old Trafford. These are the scenes. Marcus Rashford with the second goal of the game just before the half-time mark on the 42nd minute goal. And, of course, Paul Pogba opening the scoring for Man United after 27 minutes. It is Man United 2, Brighton 0. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer winning his first 6 games in all competitions as Man United manager. Can he make it 7 in 7? It looks like it. And Man United climbing the league. All the players, every player in form, every player improving under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Lots of work for Chris Hughton's men to do at half-time. And we'll bring you any changes as they come. And the half-time whistle has also gone at Watford. It is Watford 0, Burnley 0. Vicarage Road, these are the scenes right now. Not a lot to report from that. Will, any notes?
No, Troy Deeney and Delafeu had a one-on-one. Troy Deeney had an absolute ping in the 6-yard box, but it was a fantastic save by Tom Heaton. And up the other end, Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood going close for Burnley. But it's a tale of the 2 English keepers who shook hands at half-time.
And there's one of them, Tom Heaton with the armband. Burnley blessed with a lot of goalkeepers at their disposal, of course. Nick Pope, Joe Hart and
they're on a mission to sign every English goalie.
They're trying to sign every English goalie, yeah.
They're interested in
so far, so good for Tom Heaton in the sticks. It is Watford 0, Burnley 0, and the last game has just ended for the half. It is Southampton 0, Everton 0. These are the scenes at St Mary's. Danny Ings with the best chance of the game. Jordan Pickford there, but no goals to report. Exciting game to watch, Will. I know there haven't been any goals, but you've been points of notes for that game.
You talk about the fear factor coming back to Manchester United. Like Southampton, like a completely different team from the start of the season. Like Danny Ings had a great save from Jordan Pickford, and Nathan Redmond, of course, looks like a brand new man. He hit the post, and it's been all Everton, all Southampton really. Everton haven't really had a sniff.
Yeah, and Aston Villa. Update from the Championship are losing at home to Hull. Just a little update for you there, Will.
That's a shame.
Yes, the Ipswich Town score is 0-0 against Blackburn. Let's have a look at how our social bet is getting on. Don't forget, this is a new incentive with Sky Bet. Group bets, where you can do betting with your friends. Set up a group, all have a bet, and obviously bet responsibly. This is how our football social group bet is getting on. Temps went for a draw in Bournemouth versus West Ham. It is currently a draw. That's going well. Glenn, letting the team down. You said Liverpool would win. However, it is only 1-0 down, so we're still in with a shot with that. I went for a home win, Man United Brighton. It looks like I'm going to be exactly right, as I have been many times this season.
What? You get all the easy ones?
I do get the easy one. Will has gone for an away win. Newcastle, Cardiff. Will, Newcastle 1, Cardiff 0. Dave Jackson's got a home win, Southampton, Everton. That is still alive. And I've gone for a home win, Watford against Burnley. That's currently 0-0, still alive. Don't forget, you can get odds of 100 to 1 in that. Must be 18 plus, full terms and conditions apply. That was at the start of the day, of course. Right, we can all breathe. Interesting second half. Will, not loads of goals. We haven't had loads of goals we've been blessed with, but a lot of talking points from your games.
Yeah, to be fair, Watford Burnley's 0-0, but there's been some absolutely fantastic chances for both sides. Same for Southampton, they've hit the woodwork twice and forced Pickford into some great saves. And to be fair to Newcastle, they played really well, and it was an unlikely goal scorer, their centre-back Schär, working his way through. A bit like Lionel Messi, working his way, weaving it through. Left-footed finish into the bottom corner.
That's quite a compliment, that, isn't it?
Whenever you compare anyone to Lionel Messi, it's a good thing and a very big shout.
Views, come on.
Glenn, a lot of people joining us now for the live stream. A lot of Liverpool fans, of course. Talk us through this first half performance, because Liverpool have played well, but they do find themselves 1-0 down.
Yeah, like I say, they have played well. They've, like you said, had the majority of the possession. Palace have hit them on the break there, and unfortunately for Liverpool, they've been clinical. But before that, there's only going to be one winner.
We're looking at the substitutions that Liverpool have there. We've got the sheet in front of us. Shaqiri, Lallana, Origi. Do you expect any changes for Liverpool, or is it a case of more of the same, be patient? What do you expect Klopp to do in the second half?
I think they'll start the second half patient, keep trying to move the ball quickly and pull Palace around the pitch a little bit, see where they are in another 20 minutes, and then, of course, they'll have to make... If it's still 1-0, of course, they've got to change something. OK, let's get to Social Corner. Any questions for Glenn? Any questions for the panel? What are people saying on the stream?
Obviously, we put a poll out earlier asking who they think is going to win the league, and 54% have gone for Man City, and the remaining have gone for Liverpool. I don't know whether that's still 1-0 down, swaying people towards Man City.
Wow, 46-54, very tight, very close.
There you go. Do you want We'll go into the questions about Glenn Johnson. So
yes, let's get some Glenn for Glenn.
Hello.
Here we go. Don't worry, nothing too taxing, I don't think.
Hernandez says, under which manager did you learn the most in your career?
Good question.
Learn the most.
And we've got the teas and coffees that Lee, our floor manager, is kindly bringing in while Glenn talks about. Thank you very much. Is that my tea? Thank you. Glenn, do you like tea or coffee?
I'll have a coffee, please.
Glenn will have a coffee, please. Will, anyone else want a tea?
I'll have a tea, please, Smith.
Thanks very much, Lee.
I'm not getting anything, am I?
Tea, and a tea for Dave.
Cheers.
Glenn, good question, that.
Yeah. Who did I learn the most?
Remind us, obviously we know, but remind the viewers the list of managers that you played under.
So, Harry Redknapp, Capello, Mourinho, Ranieri, Benitez.
Oh, thank you.
Brendan Rodgers.
Wow.
Okay.
Kenny Dalglish.
Wow.
Hodgson.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite.
This is a tough question.
Yeah.
So of all of them,
Tony Pulis as well.
No. No. I'd probably say Harry Redknapp.
Really?
Yeah, probably because through my younger days, obviously at West Ham, the days when you train with the first team, and then obviously days at Portsmouth, I'd say Harry Redknapp overall.
From speaking to players that we've had on this show and interviews that we've done for Soccer AM and Football Daily, a lot of former players, when they speak about Harry Redknapp, says his biggest qualities is man management and how much of your friend he is and how he makes you feel before stepping out on the pitch. Is that something you found playing under Harry Redknapp? Yeah,
definitely. Like I say, hit the nail on the head. Harry couldn't really care what you do within the week, as long as you perform on a Saturday. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're in a results business, and if you win on the weekend, then you're doing your job, right? Yeah. So, and I think that's what he was good at. He knew, for example, that you might need an arm around you, or I might need or I might need to kick up the bum or whatever. You know what I mean? He just knew what he had to do with certain individuals. So I think that's what made him Harry Redknapp.
And you spoke about all those managers you worked under, so you obviously would have taken an amazing amount of knowledge from so many different coaches. Is coaching something that you're looking to get into now that you've retired, or punditry? What route do you want to go down?
I'll never say never about anything, but I can't see the coaching route. But obviously now I've had a bit of time out of the game to sort of try and find my feet and have a nice bit of time out. So I think now I'll try and get into a bit of TV, some media work, and see what I like, see what I don't like, and sort of take it from there.
OK, good question. Any other questions for Glenn?
We have another one from Jack Wall on Twitter, who says, was coming up against Cristiano Ronaldo your biggest test as a defender, or does another player stand out above him?
Good question again.
Yeah, for me, when I've been asked that question, the hardest player you play against and that sort of stuff, for me, I'd say Ryan Giggs. Because at the time I played against him, I was new to the Premier League. Right. He was in his prime. Yeah. And United's team was obviously frightening, and it was a bloody long day. But with Ronaldo, of course, he's a top player, but he sort of wanders around the pitch a bit, and that sort of one-on-one duel doesn't happen so much. Whereas back in the day, when Giggsy was an out-and-out winger, he used to isolate you, get you there, and like I say, as an 18-year-old kid playing against Giggs in his prime, it's
scary.
You've earned your corner.
It sounds like you're scared just relaying that moment there. You're like,
my back's sweating.
And you played against him because Giggs, throughout his career, his position changed obviously when he lost that yard of pace, but he still read the game tremendously well. But I imagine you played against him when he read the game, but he had that pace as well. Yeah. So it was like the complete Ryan Giggs in his prime. Yeah,
like I say, in his prime, he was literally trying to suck you into moments that, as a young, energetic kid, you're diving for and you're biting at all the time. And it's not until you've played the games and realised and learnt your trade a bit more yourself that you realise, right now, I'm capable of doing this sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, these are great questions. Let's keep them coming, Sims.
Yeah, we had a question about, obviously, what you're going to do now going into coaching management. I feel like we've pretty much covered that one. So the next one's from Ben Young, who says, what's your favourite achievement, winning the league with Chelsea or the FA Cup with Portsmouth?
Ooh. I'll say Premier League with Chelsea. Of course, any time you win a trophy, it's obviously a great moment, but every week you're fighting for points which lead to the title. So to win the Premier League is the ultimate for me.
Yeah, and what was that? Talk us through that moment when you'd finally achieved it and you'd lifted in the Premier League. You're a Premier League title winner. Just talk us through how that felt.
Well, it's like a dream come true. Yeah. You can't really put it into words. It's like I say, you work hard for it every day. Our team was obviously frightening at the time. Losing didn't even enter our head. Yeah. We were so confident and winning every week. It's obviously a great feeling, and obviously, to put your hands on that trophy, it's what you wanted to do as from a young boy, you know.
And talking of achievements as well as trophies, one of your proudest achievements must be the fact that you've represented England over 50 times and going to World Cups with England. You mentioned as a boyhood dream winning the Premier League title. Surely as a kid, again, that must be another boyhood dream fulfilled, pulling on the three-line shirt. Yeah,
definitely. Again, from a young age, first of all, you want to be a professional footballer. Yeah. And as soon as you are, you move the goalpost and then you want to play for England. And like you say, the moment that comes true, it's like groundbreaking, you know. So it's what you set out to do, and obviously your family are all proud, your mates are proud of you, and it does make your hair stand up. And you still watch England as a fan now? Obviously, we were doing the Football Social watch-alongs over the summer for the England games, and Dave, I watched many of them with you, and just seeing how... What I think I liked about this World Cup was that there wasn't much pressure on England. I think I think it's fair to say a lot of experts, pundits, former players didn't think England would get as far as they did. Yeah. Seeing how England did you still watch England as a fan, or your former player stuff? Do you still have those moments watching England play now? Yeah, we do. Probably watch it more now than I did when I was playing. It's almost like what Solskjaer's doing at United now. You know, he's put a smile on everyone's faces, and I think Southgate's done the same with the England squad. Because times before, it could be a bit regimented and a bit too much pressure, and the media couldn't wait to sort of stick their boot in. But I think this time, everybody got behind it and everybody felt it, and everyone wanted England to do well. Yeah, and when you were playing, you were sort of in that the golden generation of England players. It was a period quite a long period, but you played with some phenomenal players for England. Did you feel the pressure of the media, of everyone, when you were playing for England at that time? Was it overpowering at some times? I wouldn't say overpowering, because obviously you're playing for your country, so of course there's going to be pressure. That's normal. That's your job. Yeah. But it would almost restrict the way the lads would play, or the way the manager would set you up to play, because it was almost like people were scared to make a mistake because they're going to get crucified in the press. Rather than actually thinking, right, we're here to win this game, we've got to do what we need to do. It'd make people sort of playing with the shackles on a little bit. Right. Interesting. Whereas these guys were now, they look like they just enjoyed it, and they look like they was happy to be there, and they look like they was really rooting for each other. And you think a big part of that is what Southgate's done, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, the fact that he's opened the players up to the media. There seems to be less pressure from the media because of what he's created in the England squad. Yeah. There's a real closeness now, isn't there, between the fans and the players, I think. Yeah, definitely. And again, I think that comes because the lads are happier. The press are rooting for the guys. Yeah. They're not putting so much pressure on them. So I think it's easier for everyone to sort of enjoy it. And because they wasn't expecting too much, it was more like everything was a bonus. Yeah. OK, let's keep them coming. Yeah, we've got Any more questions? Yeah, we do. From Fred. What is your biggest regret of your career? Biggest regret was probably not winning the league with Liverpool. That's probably the biggest regret, because it was in our hands, and obviously we didn't win it. Yeah. But it's to come so close. That's the difference. Yeah. Interesting. Good questions. How different would you say that team is to the current team that Liverpool have? Do you think it's? It's a good question. I wouldn't say it's too different, to be honest. Obviously, this Liverpool squad at the moment has got some fantastic players and match winners, and obviously Salah's playing out of his skin. And I think to win the league, you have to have a striker like that. Obviously, we had Suarez at the time, who couldn't put a foot wrong. But it's like days like today with Liverpool. Obviously, fingers crossed they can turn this result around. Yeah. But it's you win or lose the league across the whole season. Yeah. It's not just the last few games. Brilliant. Well, great questions for Glenn there. Keep them coming. We'll obviously continue to do that throughout the show. But the teams are back out. These are the scenes at Anfield. This happened at half-time. It would have been Bob Paisley's 100th birthday today. So, as you can see, there's a lot of former Liverpool legends there. Kenny Dalglish, Graham Souness, Steve McMahon, Phil Babb. A host of former Liverpool legends to commemorate Bob Paisley's 100th birthday, which would have been today. John Walk there, of course. So nice to see. And nice to see as well how many Liverpool fans have stayed in their seats for half-time as well to commemorate that, which is very good to see. And the match has just got underway for the second half. And players are back out at Old Trafford as well, so our second half will commence very shortly.
It's good questions for Glenn. Did you enjoy that, Glenn? That was good.
Yeah, it's good, mate.
Insight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's get some more in throughout the course of the afternoon.
Of course.
Any other questions we've got quickly before there's another goal floods in?
Yes, we haven't really spoke about this yet. Insta.modi says, can Higuain help Chelsea get back into the title race?
Ooh.
Much of an impact.
Dave, it's come to you.
Definitely not the title race, but I think he can get them back in the top 4 quite comfortably. I think it's exactly the kind of player they need.
Good signing for you.
I think if Chelsea would have signed Aubameyang last January, they would have been absolutely flying. It's the exact kind of player they needed, rather than Rashford.
Scored.
Oh, it's a goal.
Is it?
What?
It is, yeah.
We've all missed it.
Yeah.
No way.
It is a goal for Liverpool. It's Mo Salah. Straight away, 46 minutes on the clock, a minute into the second half.
Exactly
and Mo Salah has the ball in the back. Oh! Exactly what. There's another chance, another game. Oh! We'll come to you first. Glenn Johnson, talk us through Liverpool's equaliser here.
Van Dijk's hit a long 30-yard strike here, isn't he?
It's Van Dijk.
There you go. A deflection inside. I thought he was offside.
Oh, it's a lovely finish.
That was a good finish.
So Van Dijk with a shot from distance takes a wicked deflection, fizzes into the air, and then Mo Salah, with lovely finish. He's only about 4 yards out, but it's fizzing in the air. Side on to goal and just side foots it with his left foot into the back of the net. Glenn, couldn't have been a better start for Liverpool.
Perfect. Now they can not take the foot off the gas, but relax, and now they can get the game by its horns now.
And technically, how difficult was that as a finish? Mo Salah, right place, right time, yet again.
Yeah, well, when it's pretty much coming down vertically. There was loads of spin on it, so for him to get that contact and put it in the corner, he's done very well.
Will, standing up, there's a chance in a few of your games. Talk us through what we've missed.
It's just one game, it's end-to-end. It's Bournemouth versus West Ham. A free kick in by Ryan Fraser, and it's a fantastic save by Fabianski. They recycle the ball, and Ake's put a cross that's too strong in, and then Zabaleta nearly scored an own goal, but then they counter-attacked, went up the other end, and Andy Carroll's hung at the back post. He's tried to header it back across, but it's fell to him, and with his left foot, he's absolutely blazed it over the bar from about 3 yards out. Maybe he's lacking a bit of confidence. Just watching the replay now. It's Antonio should score. And
that's a huge miss.
That's a right foot over the top, 2 yards out. He's got to do better, Smithy. He's just got to.
He's got to do better, says Will Brazier. So loads going on. We're only 2 minutes into the second half. Let's just remind you of the scores for those who are joining the stream now. It is still Bournemouth 0, West Ham 0, but loads of action both ends in that. Liverpool 1-0. Palace took the lead against the run of play thanks to Andros Townsend, but Mo Salah has just equalised moments ago for Liverpool. It is Man United 2, Brighton 0 with goals from Paul Pogba and Marcus Rashford. Newcastle find themselves 1-0 up against Cardiff at St James's Park thanks to Fabian Schär, and it's goalless between Southampton and Everton, and it is goalless between Watford and Burnley. Don't forget, Arsenal versus Chelsea is the evening game. So goals galore, and Liverpool on the attack again, Glenn. Yeah, great start to the second half.
Brilliant start. Somebody said something right at half-time, that's for sure.
Yeah. Do you think Klopp would have had the sort of the hairs treatment out, been upset with his players, or would have just said you haven't done a lot wrong?
I can imagine it being very, very energetic, but probably not. But probably in a good way.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he'd be screaming and shouting at them in a negative way, but whatever he has said has worked.
Whatever he said has worked, yeah. And going on, following on from the question we had about the managers, and just hearing the list of managers you played with is incredible. Which one, you said about which one gave you the most from a young age, but which one had the hairdryer treatment in them the most of all the managers you played with? Like, if you were 2-0 down at half-time, who did you fear stepping into the changing room?
It's a tough one, because, to be fair, a lot of them, most of them, maybe Capello.
Capello, really?
Yeah, maybe Capello, yeah.
That's surprising.
But a lot of them are quite composed and deliver their messages strong, but in a different way, whereas Capello could blow his top.
What was he like, Capello, to work for?
Yeah, really good. I got on really well with him. Obviously, when he first came, his English weren't great, but it didn't really need to be in football. There's only one language, you know, and it was quite obvious for him to get his point across. But yeah, so I think he should have been around for longer, to be honest.
Do you? Do you think it was a mistake when he left to get rid of him when he did?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
OK. Dave, 2-0 Man United against Brighton in the other game. Any glimmer of hope for Brighton in this game?
Well, United have started well again in the second half. They have a chance now on their left attacking. It's a dead ball. I think Ashley Young is over it. I think he's going to swing it in. Hopefully not a third goal, but we'll see.
Have you sort of come to the...
Well, I feel if Brighton can get one back, if Brighton get one back, then we'll see. But I think if United get the next, one, this could end the 5 rather than.
Smith, what's the big stat about United being up at half-time? And
the stat about this is an incredible stat, and I know it, but I'm going to read it exactly as it is because it is amazing. They've never, when Man United have been leading at half-time. They've never lost a Premier League game ever. So never lost a Premier League game at Old Trafford, this is, when leading at half-time, Glenn. This is 276 games, 260 wins.
Ever.
The last time, I'll come to it in a minute, not lost a league game at home after leading at half-time since May 1984 against Ipswich was the last time that happened.
Wow.
They are, of course, leading at half-time now, so it will be a huge change if Brighton can turn it around. But there's been a goal, Will.
Yep.
Who for?
I've talked about it all day, and it's Southampton. The pressure has finally paid off. They've been working it so well, and they started the second half brightly as well, and it's James Ward-Prowse.
Oh, what a
absolute pinger. Pick that one out your net, Pickford. Easy for me to say. I'm nearly splitting everywhere. 25 yards. It's gone into the side net, and it's an absolute Eton rifle from James Ward-Prowse. Look at that. On the rise. Nothing Pickford could do about it, even if he was 6'5". Get it in. 1-0 Southampton.
It's a big goal for Southampton against Everton. I remember a Glenn Johnson goal like that for Portsmouth, where you just hit it, rifled into the back of the net for Pompey. Do you remember the goal I'm talking about?
Volley, yeah.
Do you want to talk us through that?
Well.
Is that one of your favourite goals?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, it's a nice moment, win goal of the season.
Oh, there we go.
Didn't get a trophy for it, though.
Did you not? Are individual awards? I know that players always say it's about, winning the League Cup, the FA Cups. That obviously the team awards are what matters. But as a player, it must be nice winning the individual awards as well. Yeah,
of course, yeah, it is. But it's only the icing on the cake,
Is it?
Yeah, you'd rather not win anything individually and win the league, So it's one of them. But no doubt there'll be some players that disagree with me.
Yeah. Liverpool on the attack again here, Glenn. Started the second half very, very well. You've been impressed with Liverpool in the second half. Oh! Ignore that question. There's been another goal. The second half is starting unbelievably in all the games. Will Brazier, what's going on?
It's 1-0 to Bournemouth. Callum Wilson with the goal. I think he scored 5 in 5 against West Ham. Make that 6 in 6. I'm just waiting for the replay now, but it looks like it was a one-on-one and he slotted it away. And it is 1-0 to Bournemouth in that game.
Big goal in our feature game. Glenn Johnson, talk us through the goal.
Well, to be honest, I was watching this game over here, so I've not seen it. But I think Firmino's just come in last minute. And that might have took a deflection as well.
Oh, my, Smithy, sorry.
Really turned it around, didn't they? Liverpool turned it around.
Unbelievable. Goals galore. Only 5 minutes into the second half. And it's Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1. Liverpool were behind. They need to win this game if they are going to win the league. Of course, it's a big game in the title race. It is 2-1. They've turned it around. Firmino is dancing. Glenn, this is the replay. Talk us through the Liverpool goal.
So Robson here fires this wide. Is that Mane there that picks this up?
Yeah.
Rolls it into Firmino and obviously turns with too much room there. And then, a little deflection there, spins it into the corner.
Nice
Perfect.
Yeah. And it's been, we're just looking at this again. It's a lovely little turn of feet from Firmino. It does take a wicked deflection since the back of the net. Liverpool won't care. And it's been an absolute worldie from Callum Wilson in that game, Will.
Yeah, can I apologise to Callum Wilson and his friends and family because he's hit an absolute peach. His ball's come in from Ryan Fraser on the left-hand side. It's deflected and it's fell perfectly, a bit like Townsend a couple of weeks ago, but a bit further in. Hit it on the full and it's gone absolutely top bins. If there was a bin there, it would have stayed in there. You'd have shut the lid and say, thank you very much, let's go home.
Thank you very much, Bill. Yeah, Callum Wilson is a man in form. He scored more Premier League goals against West Ham, interestingly, than he has against any other side. Scored 5 goals in 5 appearances against West Ham, including a hat-trick in the 4th win at Upton Park in August 2015. Missed the last 2 games, of course, with a hamstring injury. 2 away from 50 league goals, 1 away, 50 league goals now. He is a man in form. He's wanted by a lot of teams as well. It's very important that Bournemouth keep hold of Callum Wilson, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks that way. Obviously, there's been some rumours that he might be leaving or whatever, but I'm sure they'd let him go if they got the right money. But obviously, with goals like that, and if he keeps scoring, they're going to want to keep hold of him as long as they can.
Yes, it is Bournemouth 1, West Ham 0. Will, there's loads going on in your match. 29 minutes in. Goals galore now. It's really starting to open up in the game. Another chance for you. Bournemouth West Ham.
Bournemouth West Ham. Andy Carroll doing a bit of magic footwork down the left-hand side, turning into a makeshift winger. Got a ball across, but no one on the end of it. And McNeil for Burnley has had an absolute minger. Ball's been played across. He's launched. He's on the full, about 4 yards out, left-footed, and he's blazed it over the bar. Absolute sitter, Smithy.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on,
and of course, before that, we did say Roberto Firmino has given Liverpool the lead. It's all Liverpool still on the attack. Firmino, interestingly, 4 goals in his last 3 Premier League games, including his first Liverpool hat-trick against Arsenal. 60 goals and 174 for the club. Massive moment for Liverpool, taking the lead against Crystal Palace. Glenn, any sign of Crystal Palace getting into this at all, or is it all Liverpool?
All Liverpool at the moment. Palace have sat back again now, and obviously it's playing into Liverpool hands, so they're back in possession and looking very comfortable at the moment.
Chance for United.
Chance for Man United, Dave Jackson.
Great tackle there from the Brighton centre half. I think Antonio Martial was just drifting through the whole of the Brighton defence. It was a last-ditch tackle. It was a very good one as well. So no goal.
Wow.
Brighton, are they any signs at all?
No, it's looking more like it's going to be a third United goal rather than a Brighton one back. They're actually looking very strong, United. It's a very good display for Man United, I have to admit.
Yeah, so we can catch our breaths a bit while we do that. Temps, we have some great questions for Glenn during the half-time. Any more for Glenn or any more for the panel at all?
We've got some,
at the half-time stage?
We've got one for the panel, yes, from Leo, who says, who do you think will finish the season as top goal scorer? I think after that Mo Salah goal, he's now top, isn't he, on 15? Aubameyang 14, Harry Kane 14.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon?
I would have said Harry Kane prior to his injury, but I think he misses something like 12 games or something, which I think is going to be a huge blow. And I can't see Aubameyang and Salah and Aguero, for that matter, not scoring in that time frame at all. Glenn, who's Golden Boot? If you had to pick someone now,
I agree with you. Yeah, with Harry's injury now, then I'd probably go with Salah or Aguero. But like I say, it's obviously a massive blow for Tottenham and Harry himself. But I'm sure. But if he was fit, I would have picked Harry.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, Dave.
I think Mo Salah probably, to be honest with you. Because I think if Liverpool are going to win the league, he's going to have to score at least 25, isn't he? And the 25 is going to get you there or thereabouts, isn't it? It's, with like the Golden Boot. So
it's interesting though. You look at Liverpool last season. Mo Salah scored 44 goals in all competitions. Of course, he won the Golden Boot. I feel like Liverpool, obviously, he's an important player, but they've got goals everywhere in them this season. They're less reliant upon his goals. If you look at Mo Salah, scored 18 goals in all competitions now. Firmino, who scored today, that's 11 goals in all competitions. Mane scored 8 goals. Shaqiri scored 6. They've got goal scorers across the field, haven't they, this season?
Yeah, they have, yeah. And at first, when they let Coutinho go, I thought they're going to really miss him.
Did you?
And he's a fantastic player, and obviously you're always going to miss a player like that. But like you say, everyone's chipped him with a goal, so it doesn't seem like they're missing him too much at the moment.
Would Coutinho get in this Liverpool team? Now, I know that might seem like a silly question because he is, of course, a world-class player. But the way that Liverpool are playing with their front three and sometimes with 3 in behind 1, do you think that Coutinho would start in this current play? Because they've got so many players on form.
Yeah, I agree. At the minute, you wouldn't change anything because at the top of the league, you wouldn't change a thing. But for me, he could easily play in this team.
Yeah. They'd rotate them, wouldn't they?
You just have to make it work.
Yeah. OK. So it is still 2-0 Man
United.
Half a chance for...
who is that for? He's beat a player, then kind of cutting onto his favoured foot, and his strike is kind of just gone past the post, almost shaved the post, almost. It's all Man United, which is fantastic to watch.
Yes, Man United 2-0. Of course, it's Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1. We expect Palace potentially to make a few changes if it stays like this.
What a save!
Comes to Will in a minute. But yes, so still Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1. Interestingly, Crystal Palace made the fewest team changes in the Premier League this season with only 23, so we'll update you if there are any changes. Will, chance in one of your games, what happened?
What's happened here?
He's put the ball out, very sportsman-like there from the Newcastle player.
Well, yeah, give
on the attack.
Give the man an award, but, I mean, you're in a relegation battle, so another word. It's Rondon.
What happened, mate?
Well, I don't know. I think he's had one in the meeting 2 vets, and it's a head injury, and he's kicked it straight out, but... I mean, the ruthless side of me, Smithy, just says go on and have a goal. But absolutely unbelievable. He's in the 18-yard box, chance to score, and to be fair to him, I mean, what a nice bloke Rondon is. He's put it out. I actually can't believe it.
Di-Canio-esque, remember when Di-Canio caught the ball at Goodison Park?
I mean, I do. That was nearly 20 years ago. I thought we were a bit more ruthless in this modern age. But actually, Perez should have scored as well, but it's a big Schmeichel-esque save by Neil Etheridge, and it's keeps it... Well, between Etheridge and Rondon playing defence for Cardiff, it's still 1-0 to Newcastle. So goals galore in all our games. The only game without a goal still is Watford 0, Burnley 0. Is there anything of note in the Watford-Burnley game? And why are you laughing, Will? What have I missed? But to be fair, I think Rondon knows what he's done. He's got an absolute cannon on him, and I think it's hit Joe Rawls right in the mush. I'm talking like... if there's a slow-mo on that, I'd love to see it. But apart from that... Watford again starting brightly in that game, but Troy Deeney forced a fantastic save from Tom Heaton. Ball was bouncing around in the 6-yard area, and Heaton reacted very quickly, and it's... Oh, they're in! Burn... Oh, no, is he blown it for offside? Yeah.
Oh, the ball's in the back of the net, but it's the flag
Barnes,
is up.
Yeah, Chris Woodforce in the issue, Ashley Barnes with the save, but it's still... What's the score down there? There's too much going on.
0-0.
0-0. Is that the only one without a goal?
Yes, it is the only one without a goal.
Oh, I need a breather.
So we will come to Glenn and Dave very shortly for an update in our 2 feature games. Let's just remind you of the results. Wolves... An entertaining game earlier on. Wolves 4, Leicester 3. Diego Jota hat-trick, including a winning goal in the 93rd minute to give all 3 points to Wolves at Molineux. It is currently Bournemouth 1, West Ham 0, thanks to that Callum Wilson goal after 53 minutes. Liverpool were 1-0 down at the half-time stage, thanks to that goal from Andros Townsend against the run of play. But Mo Salah on 46 and Roberto Firmino on 53 mean it is currently Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 1 at Anfield.
Go on.
Our other feature game is Man United 2, Brighton 0. Paul Pogba from the penalty spot and Marcus Rashford both before half-time. Man United have never lost a match in Premier League history when they have led at half-time. They lead at half-time, they lead now, and it is all going Man United's way currently. Newcastle 1, Cardiff 0, thanks to Fabian Schär after 24 minutes. Southampton 1, Everton 0, thanks to James Ward-Prowse. And it is Watford 0, Burnley 0. So there we go. Goal of the day so far. Are we saying Callum Wilson?
Callum Wilson, yeah.
Callum Wilson, yeah. I mean, I'm so annoyed with myself because I caught the end of it and it's flown in, but I said it was a one-on-one. But the guy is Townsend-esque, but a bit closer in. He's hit it on the full. James Ward-Prowse would also be up there, but I'll put him in second place.
Glenn, Crystal Palace on the attack here?
Yep, Zaha's in full flow again. No.
Chance?
Go on.
It's not cleared yet.
Oh, no, they're all right now. They're all right now.
I love that the former Liverpool player in you came out there and you waited till the... That's finding a bit of joy, though, Palace, down this left-hand side.
Yeah, to be fair, this is the first time they've actually started knocking around. Hopefully it don't last too long.
Here we go. It looks like the danger's cleared Liverpool. No, Palace not given. Zaha's in the...
No.
Chance! What's happened here?
So late, didn't he?
The referee... Palace have gone down there appealing for a penalty. I don't think it's been given. Glenn, let's come to you very short. We're going to look at a replay. Patrick Van Arnholt is appealing for a penalty here. The ref hasn't given it. Wave play on. It's a big moment in the match. Here it is. Glenn, what are your thoughts on this? Should this have been a penalty for Crystal Palace? This is the earlier chance.
I thought it was at the start, but then he took so long to go down. Maybe...
That affected the ref?
Yeah, I've not seen it again.
To be fair to you, that was the chance they had earlier. When we see the replay, we'll come to you. But it was a chance for Palace. It would have been a soft penalty, but there was contact. So we'll have a look at the replay and let you know it wasn't given. But Palace just finding a little bit of joy now. They're slowly getting back into this game, aren't they?
They are. This is the best build they've had this half. So, but this could play into Liverpool's hands. If they come out and start playing, then Liverpool could get another and hopefully put this game to bed. Yeah,
nice turn from Sacco. Liverpool back on the ball, but Palace countering again. And Zaha finding a lot of joy down the left-hand side. He's going to have another run at Milner.
That's better there. At least someone's come to help him.
Yeah. Do you think they've looked at that, Liverpool, and they've looked to give Milner a bit of cover here?
Yeah.
Naby Keita coming in there to give him a bit of cover.
And Millie's done well there. He's not tried to win the ball. He's just delayed him and got everyone a chance to get back and give him a hand.
OK, Will?
Yep, you're
over
right,
to you.
Josh King went down in the area. When I first saw it, I think me and Phil, who's in the production suite, both screamed penalty. But, Pinger from Delafeu. Thought it should have been a penalty for Bournemouth. But judging by the player's reaction, which I always think you can tell a lot from, King got back up and dusted himself off and carried on. Carroll with a header over the bar, but Bournemouth starting very brightly again. OK,
as you all know, regular viewers on the Football Social across the season, they are big fans of quiz time. So have a little bit of quiz time. You're playing as one team. So,
Chance for United? No.
Mo Salah now sits on... James's Park, Will Brazier.
I think it's Schär again. It's unbelievable. Get him up front, Benitez. What are you doing? You don't need anyone else. It's 2-0 to Newcastle, and Neil Warnock looks like he's just swallowed a wasp. It is Schär again. You can't believe it. They haven't had anyone in form all season, and Schär's there at the back post. Absolutely prolific. 2-0 Newcastle. Who predicted a Cardiff win? Yes, me, Smithy.
A chance for Crystal Palace on the attack, Glenn.
Good block.
Goes out for you.
Goal!
Another goal!
I can't... Smith, I was picking up my coffee. It's 2-0 to Southampton.
It's all going in. Who scored?
Right.
What happened and why?
Is it Danny Ings, Phil? Phil doesn't know either. It's all going on. I think it's a ball through here.
Here's the replay.
It's Nathan Redmond.
That's bad.
What's going on there?
Goal.
It's an OG. It's an OG screamer of the season. An OG from 25 yards out. Is that Lucas? What a hit!
What a finish!
What a hit!
Corner for Palace. Glenn Johnson. It is all going on. Goal in that game. 2-0. Everton own goal, and Palace have just equalised. Glenn Johnson.
No.
I know you don't want to see,
but I'm busy watching this again.
Talk us through. I know you saw this one. I saw you see it. Talk us through this goal.
Right, to be fair, it looks like a great header from Tompkins there. Good ball in. I didn't see the build-up before, but it's a good header and it looks unsavable.
It's from a corner. It was all Liverpool beforehand. Great start to the second half for Liverpool. But Tompkins, bullet header, back of the net. And it is 2-2. What a game we're watching, Glenn. Here we go.
Yeah, I think it's just peeled away from Fabinho. The free header.
Got to ask you, your defensive expertise from a defensive point of view, disappointing goal for Liverpool to concede?
Yeah, they've set up like zonal there, and I think it's Van Dijk's got a bit blocked and can't really get a jump on it.
So the goals are flooding in the second half.
It's a massive
goals
25
galore.
now,
That is
Smith.
arguably the biggest goal so far of the day, because our game of the day, Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 2, Man City fans will be watching this one. They obviously...
Whoa, he's kicking on!
There's another chance. What's going on?
Nathan Redmond, my mate, he's getting in there. He's throwing it right and left, but he's quick about his feet. He's been held back, but he's going up against Kurt Zuma, who is a bigger man, so you should know better, Nathan.
It is all going on. Dave, we haven't come to you recently. Brighton on the attack against Man United on the cover.
They're not going to score. Oh, no, it's gone! Oh, nothing.
They nearly scored.
They haven't. They're rubbish. But, yeah, the United on the counter here. They look like this is Marcus Rashford. He's running through.
Oh,
no, bad pass. And Brighton goal should pick this up. Yeah, it's not great from Brighton. But
goals galore in our football social today.
Wow.
So much going on. Let's talk about that. The Everton own goal as well, because that was an absolute freak goal that we saw
finish.
Moments before Liverpool conceded. So it's a bad moment for Merseyside in general, that minute there. Terrible goal, that, wasn't it, Glenn?
Yeah, it's unusual to see an own goal from 25 yards out.
Have you ever had any like that? Any moments to forget?
I've had plenty to forget, but not from 25 yards.
I had once in a big derby between Catsall Warriors and Meadow Park. I was playing centre-back Smith, put it top bins from about 18 yards. Manager brought me off because I was losing my head. I was actually crying on the pitch. I was 17 at the time.
Like Gaza.
Oh!
Brilliant. What we did forget to do, because of all the goals, was football social quiz time. Before that, let's go. Glenn, there's another chance for Palace, where they scored from last time as well.
Yeah, it's not looking good, this.
Oh, let's stay with you for this.
Oh, that's right. Straight into his hands.
And it was a carbon copy of the goal, corner. This time Alisson was alert to it.
Trying to slow it down now.
Who's the better team in the last 5 minutes? Because we saw a crazy period in this game. All Liverpool, 2 goals, going for the third. Then suddenly Palace score. They have another corner. It's a strange game, isn't it?
It is very strange. Palace are having their spells. From the off in the second half, they literally just sat back on the edge of their box, and then the last 5 minutes they've come out to play and they've nicked another goal.
Oh. Yeah.
What's Saka
Sacco just falling over the box. Right, so I'm looking at all 6 screens in front of us. There's so much football going on. Don't forget to get your questions in. We will be asking more questions to Glenn at the end of the show and throughout the show, of course. So get your questions in at Football Daily, at SoccerM. But let's go back to football social quiz time, which we love on this show. Anyone shout out? You're playing as one team. Mo Salah now sits on 49 Premier League career goals. Can you name the 7 African players that surpassed 50 goals in the Premier League?
Adebayor.
Drogba.
Adebayor is one, Drogba is the other. They're the 2 easiest ones. Drogba, the top African goal scorer with 104.
Benjani.
Adebayor with 97. Benjani's not one, no.
Kanu.
Kanu is one with 54, yes.
We got that.
So you've got Drogba, Adebayor and Kanu.
Loa.
1, 2, 3, no.
All right.
Samuel Eto'o.
No.
50 goals, you're saying, yeah? The past 50 goals.
Oh, nice.
Sadio Mane is one, yes. Another one was a big player for Manchester City in his day.
Sean Goethe.
And was a guest on Sky Sports recently as well.
Oh, Yaya Toure.
Yaya Toure. All 3 of you got that, yeah? So you've got Drogba, Adebayor, you've got Yaya Toure, and you've got Sadio Mane. So there are 3 more to get.
3 more to get.
You said one, didn't you?
Benny McCarthy.
Adebayor.
Say that again?
Benny McCarthy.
Not Benny McCarthy.
Yakubu?
Yakubu. Great shout from Glenn Johnson, yeah. Shout of the day. Not former teammate of yours, was he?
No.
Portsmouth? No?
No, he weren't. No, we missed each other, yeah.
OK.
Played against him a few times, though.
What was he like to play against?
Brick wall.
Was he?
Yeah, he's like granite, yeah. Good player, though. Very good player.
2 more to get.
2 more to get.
Drogba, Adebayor, Yakubu, Yaya Toure, Sadio Mane. No, there's 2 more to get.
What era are we talking?
We're going back a bit now. Yeah, one we're going back a lot, and the other one, of Arsenal fame, I would say.
Arsenal fame.
I've had it in my ear. The producer's got it.
Of course he has. It's a bloody chore dog.
Dog's got it.
He's loving it.
Yeah. Arsenal player. Scored a very memorable hat-trick at Stamford Bridge.
Canu, we've said Canu.
I said like Canu.
OK, you've said Canu, apologies. One other player. This is going back.
What's the clue for this one?
Oh, Tony Yeboah.
No, we're talking Wimbledon.
What, the tennis tournament?
No. This is going back a while. Let us know if you've got it on the stream as well.
Fashanu.
Efanakoku it is! Yes, there we go, Will. So there we go. Mo Salah, 49 Premier League career goals. There are 7 African players that have surpassed him with 50 goals in the Premier League.
That's a great question, though, Smith.
That is a really good
In reverse order, it's Sadio Mane with 52, equal with Efanakoku on 52, Kanu on 54, Yaya Toure 62, Glenn Johnson got Yakubu on 95, everyone got Adebayo on 97, and the top scoring African player in Premier League history, Didier Drogba on 104. Didier Drogba, what a player he was.
Yeah, oh yeah, fantastic.
One of the best that you've...
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
We played with
he's very
against,
good. Yeah. Certainly in the big games.
He had an amazing record at Wembley, Drogba, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Seemed to always score in the cup finals. And
that's what you need.
Yeah, top player. Substitution, Glenn, in your game, is this Shaqiri coming on?
Yeah, Shaq's come on. I didn't see who went
Naby Keita coming off. What do you make of this? Is this just going all out attack for the 3 points? Or?
Yeah, probably just trying to get that extra bit of magic in them little pockets. Hopefully Shaq can produce something, can nick a goal, yeah?
Talking about Shaqiri as well, we're looking at value for money, 13 million. A player you know as well, Shaqiri, very well. Teammate yours at Stoke. Unbelievable value for money that, isn't it, Liverpool have got?
It's a crazy deal, really. You can't get anyone for that money these days. Certainly not a player of his quality.
Another incident, we're looking at potential penalty shot of Liverpool not given.
No, just a little coming together. So
not a penalty.
It's not handball.
I think that Lukaku's coming on, getting he's dressed and stripped and ready to go. I don't know who's going to come off for. Probably Rashford, because he's already got his goal, but we will see very shortly.
Any other chances? For all the talking points and the goals in the other games, Dave, not a lot. We haven't come to much in the second half.
I feel this has been extremely good display for Manchester United. It's been very kind of disciplined. Particularly the second half, Brighton haven't really had any chances, and that's almost like that's credit to Man United for that. Yeah. But hold on.
Oh.
Nah, it's nothing.
Let's go to Social Corner. Temps, just remind the viewers joining us on the stream how they can get in touch and what you are after.
It's very simple. At Football Daily, at Soccer AM, the hashtag Football Social.
Go on, Brian! Yes! Come on! That's one back! That's one back! Come on, Brian! Let's go! Let's go!
Dave Jackson, talk us through this goal. Big moment at Old Trafford.
Whipped in. I think United centre-half should have cut it out. He didn't. The ball kind of dropped to, I think it's Gross.
Pascal Gross, yes.
Pascal Gross. And he's kind of like flicked it off the end of his boot and it's gone in. David De Gea couldn't have done anything with this, to be fair. But that's the one we needed. We've got 20 minutes to get the equaliser.
Outside of the boot. Great whip in.
And it's actually a very, very good finish. So well done.
Finish, isn't it?
Go on, Brighton! Let's go!
Lovely finish. Gross has chested it down inside the box, having received it with the outside of his right boot, whip in cross. Gross has chested it down, then with the outside of his boot, taking it past De Gea. Nothing the Spaniard could have done
Thank you for doing that a bit more articulated than I did.
So it's all going on. We were going to you, Temps, before we interrupted. Go on.
Come on, Brian. This question, actually, it's from Nathan, who says, will Manchester United finish above Arsenal?
Oh! Only one person we can ask about this, Dave. As an Arsenal fan watching Man United today, I feel you're very well placed to answer this question.
I think it all depends. I mean, it really does all depend how we play today against Chelsea. Like, if we can go and beat Chelsea, I think that sets us up now to kind of go on and not only fight for that top 4 spot, but actually own it as well. Because I think unless we get 3 points today, the top 4's gone, basically. So
top 4's gone.
Yeah, I think unless we beat Chelsea, I think a draw's no good.
Team uses in for Arsenal.
Go on.
Ramsey starts for Arsenal. Let's just talk quickly about Aaron Ramsey.
I think Aaron Ramsey deserves an awful lot of credit. His attitude, despite knowing he's pretty much gone since September, or like he's not gone, but his future's no longer at Arsenal. Yeah. His attitude has been fantastic. I can't really fault him as an Arsenal fan. I think it's a bit silly to actually let him go, but then he probably he's probably looking at about 300 grand a week at Juve because he's going to go on a free. So any money they were spent on transfer fee, they pretty much give to him, like we did with Sol Campbell with Spurs.
Yes,
it's a different,
I'm aware of that transfer.
It's
another goal! Another goal for Liverpool. It's in the back of the net. What a goal!
There's no goal, isn't it?
What a game we are witnessing. Mo Salah is celebrating. I'll come to Glenn in a minute once we've seen the replay. There is 5th goal of the game. Goals galore at Anfield. Liverpool back in front, 3-2 up against Crystal Palace. There's Jurgen Klopp. Very unanimated in his snood, should I say. James Milner is celebrating as well.
Yeah, Millie seems to
big
cross it in from the bar line.
I feel it was an own goal.
Yeah, I think
here is the replay. Glenn Johnson, goal for Liverpool. What happened?
Millie's made a great run here and got something on it to get in, but...
Oh, what
Glenn, can you begin to explain what's happened here?
He's put it into his own net.
He tried to catch it with one hand, didn't he?
It is an absolute calamity.
Salah was desperate
Speroni.
to claim that as well, weren't he? Look at him.
Yeah, Salah weren't missing that one.
Sniffing around for that one.
Look, just catch it.
That's awful.
So Milner whips it in, and it's going. It's worth pointing out this isn't going goalwards. It's going across the goal. Speroni has punched it into his own net, and it's worth pointing out as well. 39-year-old goalkeeper, club legend, of course, Julian Speroni, starts as Wayne Hennessy and Vicente Guita both out injured. He's their third-choice goalie, the only change. It's actually going back to away from goal.
Is this Mo Salah's goal?
Is it Mo Salah's goal though? Because he punches it.
That is Salah's goal.
He's on it.
Salah's goal.
Salah's goal. Speroni own goal. Salah goal for you. Which one?
Salah.
It is Mo Salah's goal. So, yeah, terrible one for Speroni and Crystal Palace fans to have their heads in their hands. They've done the hard bit. They're back in the game. Milner with the ball across. Speroni punches the ball into his net. As it is going in, Mo Salah gets the touch as it is going in. So Mo Salah with his 50th Premier League goal. So he joins that list of players that we spoke about earlier. Good for him. Nightmare for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking there.
Why did he not catch it? Glenn, I know none of us are goalkeepers, but surely that seems the most...
Well, there's no one near him. No. It's a slow cross. You would have thought he'd just catch it, but...
When you won the league with Chelsea, were there moments that you look back on where you thought we got away with one and we were lucky there? Is this a potential moment for Liverpool? They'll look back on this because they won 1-0. They're playing well and winning games. They're obviously playing well and winning games when they're winning well, but they seem to be winning games when they're not playing well as well, which is a great sign.
It's a massive factor. And obviously, if Liverpool can get through this, having conceded 2 and win the game... then 9 times out of 10, if you concede 2, you lose. Yeah. So it'll be a massive turning point, I think, if they can get through this.
And from a Manchester City's perspective, fans watching this game or when they look at these highlights, they're probably watching this going, it's just it's their season, isn't it? Everything's going Liverpool's way at the minute.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, they would have been rubbing their hands together at the start, but now they probably have their heart in their mouth and be pretty down about this result at the moment.
Yeah. Go on, Brighton. Glenn, we'll carry on watching while we speak because Palace are on the attack here again. What did you make of Jurgen Klopp resting so many players for the Wolves game in the FA Cup? Because obviously Liverpool are fantastically successful. They're favourites now with bookmakers to win the league, but he still hasn't won a trophy yet. A lot of critics of his will say that he hasn't won a trophy at Liverpool. Are you surprised that they rested so many players against Wolves, who are quite an informed Premier League team at the minute? Yeah,
it's one of those. It's obviously I'm not going to tell the manager how to do his job, obviously, but they obviously have got a good squad. So I can understand why you've rested players, and obviously you try and keep your players fit and pick up all the points. So I get why. It's just one of them hindsight things. You never know the right thing to do until afterwards. Sometimes, you know.
And will the fact that they're out the FA Cup, do you think that'll help their chances in the league? You do, Dave.
Yeah,
definitely.
And if they had a choice now, would you win the FA Cup or win the league? You'd sacrifice the FA Cup to win the league.
And Dave, you agree with that? You were nodding ferociously.
I think the thing is, do Liverpool have a squad to win the treble? They don't do that, so they might as well concentrate on the competition. They probably do have the best chance of winning, which probably is the league. So,
Cardiff on the attack, Dave.
Cardiff,
and it comes to nothing in that game. Sorry, Will.
2 shows, we came with the wrong name.
Yeah, I know. Phil. Sorry, Phil last year. Wasn't it? Any hope for Cardiff in that game?
Honestly, they've been. I think they had about 3 corners in succession, but it was our man Shah who scored 2 at the other end as a centre back, and Cardiff was down the right hand side, and he had to make the judgment to come across, and Shah's blocked the pass, resulting in a no goal for Cardiff. So he's definitely man of the match for them.
He's an absolute welder.
Bournemouth hit the post, Callum Wilson, and then David Brooks, the Welsh wizard.
Oh, we love David Brooks.
Went down in the area, but no penalty given. It did look like a stiff push from McBonner, but no penalty given, and still 1-0 to Bournemouth. What an afternoon we've had.
1-0 to Bournemouth. Yeah, it's been a great afternoon, particularly in the second half. Tempters, go to you quickly for Social Corner.
Yeah, we have a question. People said? We have a question from Nate Dogg, who says, who will go down this season? So let's put this one to Will. You've been watching the relegation clash today.
I think Cardiff definitely down. No, to be fair, I think Huddersfield are down and out. I'm trying to think. Burnley, sometimes after such a successful
Burnley on a good run of form.
I don't.
Yeah, originally.
I feel Burnley will be down there as well, and then
Fulham. Do you think? Are they
Fulham
have got to go down, yeah.
Southampton, really. So I mean, like 6 weeks ago, you just said Southampton down and out, but honestly, they've been absolutely fantastic against Everton today. like the form that they used to have under that sort of Pochettino era.
Yeah.
OK, we'll move on from that because we've got a price boost to give you, Will, on your screen right now.
Boost.
There it is. Mo Salah to score a hat-trick. Was 11-2. Yes, he has scored 2 goals already. It's now 13-2 with Sky Bet. What a price boost that is. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions do apply. You've got 10 minutes left of that game to get on that price boost. Loads of price boosts you can have a look at on the website, of course. It's Liverpool 3, Crystal Palace 2. Glenn, let's come to you. Chance for Crystal Palace corner. They've been quite dangerous from these positions.
As you said earlier, this is where the goal came from. And to be fair, it's an unnecessary corner, really. It's a little header from Shaq, but let's hope they can get this way.
Yeah, and they're just delaying the corner because I think that is Jordan Ayew coming off. So Crystal Palace making a change just before they take this corner. Who's coming on there? Is that Connor Wickham? Wow.
Wow.
Wickham coming on.
You've been
just working out what they're doing. And Max Meyer as well. A lot of praise on Max Meyer when he came, hasn't...
I put him in my fantasy team.
Did you? Yeah, a lot of big signing when he joined Crystal Palace at the start of the season. He'll be hoping to make immediate impact. Glenn will come in the corner.
Release.
Come on.
That's away.
Oh, you weren't worried about that at all, were you?
No, straight on his head as soon as he kicked it.
Since Palace scored from that corner, which is a very good goal, they've taken 2 rather bad corners, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Come on.
Brighton.
Oh, come on.
Chance for Brighton. Oh,
that's a corner. No, it's De Gea. Of course it is.
And Liverpool on the attack again. Glenn will stay for you here. Sadio Mane.
No, he's kept hold of that one.
Who do you think's been Liverpool's standout player? Is it hard to look past Mo Salah with the 2 goals today?
Yeah, albeit he's ran a mile to get the tap in. But yeah, he has played well. He has played well. Firmino's had a few nice touches, few good passes.
Go on. Pick someone out.
Yeah, and it's cleared. Crystal Palace down the other end, and the ball is...
Miller's just left one on him here.
Oh, Milner's left one on... is that Zaha?
Yep.
Yeah, yellow card for James Milner, and he looks unhappy with that decision, shall we say? I don't think he agrees with it. Will, go to you.
Could have been game, set and match for Southampton. I think it was Jack Steve. I don't know. It's one of the centre-backs running in late. Free header, and he's headed it down, but it's just past the post. It should have been 3-0, but still 10 minutes to go. So if Everton can get one, could be a nice, tidy finish there.
Glenn, we just saw the replay of that tackle from James Milner on Zaha. A right decision, free kick and yellow card. What did you make of that?
Yeah, he's unlucky. It's one of them. He's committed and has to go through with it. And he has caught him. So yeah, I think yellow card's fair.
OK. And we'll stick with our feature game because it is very evenly poised. 3-2. There is 8 minutes left plus injury time. And free kick on the edge of the box for Crystal Palace. Whipped in.
Oh, it is a good ball. Yeah.
Glenn, big chance for Schlupp there.
Yeah, there's a lot of space there. He should have done better than that.
And he knows it as well. His body language says it all.
It's a great run.
He's in a lot of room there, isn't he?
Yeah, Jeffrey Schlupp heads it just wide. Substitution for Man United, Dave, in your game. Who's going off?
So Lukaku was about to be brought on about 10 minutes ago, but then Brighton scored. So he actually took Jesse Lingard off and put Juan Mata on just to try and keep hold of the ball a bit longer. But he's now bringing Lukaku on for Antonio Martial. I think this is probably a good move.
Yeah, how's Martial played?
He's played well. He's looked very sharp. He'd probably be quite disappointed he hasn't come away with a goal. But he's done himself no harm. He's been decent.
OK, so... coming through our closing stages of all of our matches here. Will, we'll go to you quickly to find out what else is going on in your games.
To be fair, Newcastle are sitting back, so if they're going to score, it'll be a goal on the counter-attack. But Bournemouth looking to put this game to bed. Still 1-0 here. Brooksy working and weaving some magic in the area, but they're retaining the ball well. But everything's nicely poised, apart from that Southampton game, which is 2-0. Everything's still to play for. So, especially that Newcastle-Cardiff game, if they were to score... And they've got a chance edge to the area. Shot blocked. Bouncing around. And it's still going. Sol Bambo up there, Neil Warnock's favourite son. Ball back into the area. And it's surely got to be clear. But yeah, no, nice state. What we got about 10 minutes? Just
yes, we have got 7 minutes plus injury time in all of our games. Liverpool with a corner, Glenn.
Oh. It was unlucky there.
Corner of Liverpool. So let's just remind you of the scores. Wolves beating Leicester 4-3 earlier. Diego Jota hat-trick. Bournemouth currently lead West Ham 1-0 thanks to Callum Wilson. Epic game in our feature game that Glenn Johnson is watching. Liverpool 3, Crystal Palace 2. Mo Salah, which what looks like the winning goal so far, but still 5 minutes to play. And Man United find themselves 2-1 up against Brighton. Pascal Gross just getting a goal back.
Salah's away.
Pogba and Marcus Rashford
Salah's in here.
Salah is in. Glenn Johnson.
No touch.
It's over.
It is dispossessed. Newcastle 2, Cardiff 0. Fabian Schär with both goals. Southampton 2, Everton 0, thanks to James Ward-Prowse and Lucas Digne own goal. Freak own goal for Lucas Digne. And it's still Watford 0, Burnley 0. Nothing to talk about in the Watford-Burnley game, really, Will, is there?
To be fair, for a 0-0, it has been quite entertaining, and both sides have their chances. But I think, yeah, like we said earlier, it's a tale of the two English keepers, Tom Heaton and Ben Foster, keeping the strikers at bay.
OK. I don't know where to look. So much going on in these games, and both our feature games are still alive. Liverpool 3, Palace 2, as we said. And Man United were cruising 2-0, but with that Brighton goal, it's just made it a bit exciting, Dave, isn't it?
It has. And they're not playing bad, Brighton. Like, United, they're slowly trying to recapture the game, to be honest. So we need... They've had quite a lot of success trying to play almost like that diagonal ball across, and that's what they need to get back to, because United look a bit shaky with that. OK, let's go to Social Corner. Had some great questions today. Keep them coming. Temps, what have people been talking about in the stream?
So the next question is from Esperanza, who says, who is the most underrated defender in the Premier League?
Oh, defender. I like how he's zoned in on defenders. Glenn, got to come to you as a former defender. Underrated. Tough one, that, isn't it?
It is tough, yeah.
Got to score.
To be honest, while we're on this game, I quite like the fullback for Palace.
Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
that's a great
a lot of people are actually talking about him.
Yeah, he looks... I've only seen him a handful of times, but what I have seen, he looks...
Do you know what? We on our Football Social a few weeks ago, I think we had Steve Sidwell on and we were speaking about underrated players in the league, Dave, and he was one that, as a Sofa, we said Wan-Bissaka in his first game, I think I'm right, I think it was against Fulham, and it was when Ryan Sessegnon was up against him, and the media... all the pre-match was about Ryan Sessegnon, how he's going to take the Premier League by storm, and he had a fantastic game that season. I think he has been one of the standout players, I think, this season.
No, he's looked solid every time I've seen him.
What's Lindelof?
Anyone else? Defenders? Underrated, Dave? Anyone else spring to mind?
Tarkowski?
Tarkowski's a good shout, yeah.
Very good shout.
Cheers.
What's De Gea moaning about?
Tarkowski's a good shout. Chance in the Brighton game, Dave.
Bloody De Gea's having a moan. He says he's been hit. No one's touched him, but it's a corner to Brighton. Come on, Brighton.
Yeah.
Go on.
Corner to Brighton here, Dave. Stay with you. So Wan-Bissaka, we've said, as an underrated defender.
What's his name? Chilwell. Whatever his name is. He's pretty good.
Good shout as well. Chilwell's a very good shout.
Chilwell will be City, I reckon, next 6 months.
You think?
Yeah, that's where they need to... That's the exact area they need to strengthen in.
Improving?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben Chilwell's another one. Yeah, some good... Tough question when it's zoned in just on defenders, isn't it? But I think they're probably the ones that stand out. Any other last questions quickly before we get to the final few minutes of the game's Temps?
Yeah, we have a question from VYB. I think that's how it is.
How you pronounce it?
It could be Vibe, could be VYB, we don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you blame for the failings at Arsenal right now?
Who do I blame?
Who do you blame?
Madonna's just come on in the feature game, by the way, for Fabinho. Dave, over to you with that one.
Granit Xhaka. No, I'm joking. No. A
bit harsh.
I don't know. It's like
all on to
just
you.
Granit Xhaka.
All on to you.
I don't know. Like before the season, like I think we're about where we should be, to be honest. And so we need to invest in the team squad or whatever.
Oh, Dave, I've got to interrupt you there because a nasty injury in your feature game here.
Yeah. I think it's a bit late. I think he also knows there's only a couple of minutes left. Let's just slow the ball.
Rashford's been down a while though, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he knows what he's doing.
You think he's okay?
I think he'll be fine. I'm not saying that he wasn't kicked, but I think I'm pretty sure he'll be fine.
Back to the Arsenal question then.
Yeah, I think we need to invest in that team / squad.
Oh no. He's off.
Glenn, got to come to you. Big moment in the Liverpool game. Talk us through what's going on right now.
I think Millie's going to see red here.
He's off. Glenn Johnson's called it. He said he's going to see red. He has seen red. Just talk us through what happened and do you think this is the right decision?
I didn't see who made the pass, but someone's made a sloppy pass and put him into a 50-50 and he's sort of slid in and then regretted it the minute he started to slide.
It's just late, isn't it?
It's not gone to hurt him at all. You know, he's pulled his foot away straight away, but he knew it was just too late.
Once again, Glenn, though, it's Milner on Zaha again. They've had a bit of a battle, these two, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Zaha, like most people, he's caused a few problems, and like I said, that pass there was very short, so it didn't really give Millie much of an option.
And it's a problem now for Liverpool in that right-back area. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold's injured, not playing. Milner was, filling in at right-back. Now he's going to be suspended. Not ideal for Jurgen Klopp at all.
No, it's going to be a problem that they're going to have to solve, whether it might be changing the formation next game or I don't know what Trent's injury is, but hopefully it's not going to be too long and hopefully he'll be all right for next game.
And we'll stay with you here. Liverpool on the attack. Glenn?
What's that?
Sadio Mane?
No. Yeah, he's done the right thing in the end there. He had the opportunity to put Salah in, but
Game over!
Which game? Bournemouth goal. Will Brazier.
David Brooks working his way through, and he just played a simple pass along the floor, and Joshua King just had to tap it in. Those two love goals against West Ham United. I think Josh King's got 4 in 4 against them. So it's 2-0 to Bournemouth, and that is game, set and match to them. West Ham very different, aren't they? Lose to Burnley, beat Arsenal.
They have been very consistent. Josh King scored in just one of his 7 appearances against West Ham, a hat-trick. Scored in just one of his 7 appearances against West Ham. Yeah, Callum Wilson with a great record against West Ham. They've both scored today. 5 minutes of injury time in the Liverpool Palace game we've just seen. It's all going on, goals galore as we speak. 5 minutes for Liverpool to hold on in a big game for the title race. James Milner's just seen red in the 88th minute. Interestingly, his last red card, guys, came 3 years ago, James Milner, and that was also against Crystal Palace. Lallana came on as a sub about 10 minutes ago. Palace on the attack, but the ref has just blown for a free kick. Brighton on the attack. I think what happened?
Nothing.
OK, that's Steph Jackson. Will, anything going on in your last few games? We're in the 90th minute into injury time in all the games. We're going to come to Dave in a minute. Brighton are not happy about something. Dave, keep your eye on that game. Will?
Yeah, the only one that's kind of got the one scored the difference in is 0-0 between Watford and Burnley, but... Everton goal! Scrap that! Sigurdsson's just scored and it's game on now. I don't know how long's left, but I imagine my eyes were diverted to the Watford-Burnley game. But here's the goal here. Long throw in, bouncing around. There's a flick on, and where is it? You just got to clear it if you're Southampton. Not from there.
It wasn't from there.
Where's it? From here? There we go. Oh, just a nice little side-foot finish. 2-1. Game on.
Game on at St Mary's. Southampton 2, Everton 1. Very scrappy goal. Southampton should be clearing their lines there, but Sigurdsson with the ball in the back of the net. You just see Jordan Pickford celebrating as well. And it's another goal! Will, Burnley!
He didn't. It's offside. I was going to say, if you're scoring a last-minute winner like that and he's chortling off like that, you need to have a look at yourself. It's offside and it's still 0-0 in that game.
Glenn, let's get your prediction. So it is, of course, your former club, Liverpool 3-2.
Oh, he's on, Smith! He's
4
on!
minutes left.
Yeah.
Will they hold on to the 3 points, do you think?
I think they're going to do enough to hold on, yeah. They're cute enough to... They've won a couple of nice free kicks here to slow the game down, so...
Oh, he's on.
So hopefully they see this out.
OK.
Feel bad for him.
Will, anything else? Every time we come to you, something else happens.
He was onside. They just showed the replay, and I think it was Holebas, the left-back. He was actually playing both of the strikers on. Wood, if you want to have a look at it, bottom right-hand quadrant. Look at
he's onside!
Liverpool.
They're both on.
Goal for Liverpool! Glenn Johnson said they would win. They are winning. What a win for Liverpool.
Yeah, that's it.
Good goal as well, Glenn.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect, yeah. Robson done well to keep it in, and it released Mane down the left-hand side, and he's bit of time on his hands, cut inside and slotted in the bottom corner nicely.
So once again, Liverpool win, and it's a goal for Firmino, 2 goals from Salah and Sadio Mane. We said earlier they've got goals all over the pitch. They've all scored, all 3.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you need. And hopefully now, when one of them's not on song, then the other 2 can chip in. And
I thought that the dancing celebration, you're a fan of the animation celebration. Did you have any celebrations like that in your time?
No, we didn't, no.
Come on,
not on camera, anyway.
Oh, corner, let's go, Brighton, let's go. We'll come to you in a minute, Glenn. We're just watching a replay here. Palace will be disappointed with this from a defensive point of view.
Yeah, I can't say. I think it's the left back there. He needs to make a decision slightly earlier. He's either going to come across and try and block the shot or stay further in the middle. He doesn't really do either.
Yeah, so it's Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 2. Big goal, big result in the title race. Liverpool will go 7 points clear for the time being because Man City play tomorrow. Will, loads going on in your games as well. There's an injury in one of them. There's a chance in another one. Quickly round up what's going on in those 4, please, mate.
So Bournemouth 2-0 up. Joshua King's gone down. He's the goal scorer, and I think it's almost over there. Newcastle 2-0 up. Shaw with both goals. Man of the match performance. Southampton 2-1 up. Everton have got a sniff, but I think there's a goal!
It's a goal at St James's Park!
But it's not Shaw, it's Iosi Perez, who took one to the mush earlier, puts both fingers in his ears and says, I can't hear you, but I've just scored a goal. It's 3-0 there. Neil Warnock will be going all the way back to Devon with a glum face, and not much else to report. Southampton have tidied that one up. It's 2-1 there. And Watford Burnley's finished 0-0, but they should have all 3 points. Chris Wood put the ball in the back of the net, but it was ruled offside wrongly. Where's your VAR, Smithy?
Where's the VAR? It is not used in the Premier League, of course. Burnley will be gutted about that. They had the ball in the back of the net, but it doesn't count. We can show you some of the full-time scenes. These are the scenes in our first game that has ended. This is the Vitality Stadium right now. As you can see, big win for Bournemouth. 2-0 against West Ham. Goals from Callum Wilson after 53 minutes and Joshua King in injury time. Big win.
Yeah,
and this is a goal for Palace. And you can see Eddie House rejoicing, punching the air, big win. Glenn Johnson, what happened in that game? We missed it.
Yeah,
goal for Palace, what a game we're watching.
I didn't see the striker. I think it might have been Connor Wickham's just set down on the penalty spot and he just slotted it nicely.
So it is Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 3 in the 94th minute. Glenn, here it is, whipped in by Townsend.
Yeah, there you go. Nice little touch there, and he's got all the time in the world. And
he's finished.
He's finished it well.
Will Alisson, a keeper of his quality, be disappointed he didn't tip that round the post?
Yeah, you'd like to think he'd saved that, yeah. But hopefully there's not long enough on the clock and he's going to blow his whistle any minute now.
So it's a big goal. It's still alive for Crystal Palace. Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 3. Unbelievable goals galore we're witnessing in the second half. And the whistle has gone as well at Watford, Vicarage Road. It is finished. Watford 0, Burnley 0. Sean Dyche will not be happy, Will, with that decision. They had the ball in the back of it. It was Chris Wood, was it?
Yeah,
with
Chris
the goal.
Wood, yeah.
Wrongly disallowed for offside.
I think when he sees the replay, he'll be having a word with the referee and linesman there. Terrible decision.
So
still playing at Southampton. Shane Long's gone down with an injury to his head, a bit of blood coming out as well. Had a clash with Kurt Zuma.
Yeah, so
it's got to be the whistle as soon as he kicks this, isn't it?
Glenn is watching on very anxiously, as is Jurgen Klopp. He keeps pointing to his watch.
That's 7 minutes now, isn't it?
Then let's stick with you. Talk us through what's going on in the last minute of the game here.
Well, I think the ref's enjoying it too much. Needs to blow that whistle.
Chance for Palace in the ball's in.
Hit that!
Glenn.
Wow. Shouldn't have hit that.
Would have
Patrick Van Arnold,
wouldn't it?
With last chance for Brighton here.
Last chance. Time whistle has gone.
Come on.
At Anfield.
All right, let's get everyone up now, Brighton. Let's go.
These are the scenes. It finished. Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 3. Our game of the day, and it was our game of the day. Goals from Salah with 2, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane. For Crystal Palace, Townsend, who did give Crystal Palace the lead, James Tompkins, and it was Max Meyer in the 95th minute who got that goal. He came on, we spoke about him, so good goal for Max Meyer. Crystal Palace with 3 away goals. Not many teams go to Anfield and score 3 and lose a game.
Oh, exactly.
Also, the full-time whistle has gone at Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 7 wins from 7 games. Incredible record. Please say Marcus Rashford is OK. He went down with quite a nasty injury on his knee. He's OK. He did carry on. Dave was right. I think it was a bit of time wasted. Didn't matter because Man United won the game 2-1. Penalty from Paul Pogba. Goal from Marcus Rashford after 42 minutes. Pascal Gross with a consolation after 72 minutes. But all 3 points go to Man United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saluting the Old Trafford crowd. He can do no wrong. Paul Pogba can do no wrong. All of these players, Marcus Rashford, they're all in form under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Man United can't stop winning. They climb the table. Can they get in the top 4 this season? Incredible turnaround under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Man United win 2-1 at Old Trafford. And the full-time whistle has gone at St James's Park. Newcastle 3, Cardiff 0. Huge result at the bottom of the table. Fabian Schär, surely a man-of-the-match performance from him. 2 goals, one after the 24th minute, one after 63. And Ayoze Perez in the 93rd minute. All Newcastle. Neil Warnock will be very, very disappointed with that. As all 3 points go to Newcastle. And Glenn, we are just witnessing, we know that Jurgen Klopp is an animated manager, but is this the most animated we've ever seen him?
He's enjoying that
crazy,
victory.
Isn't he?
He is, yeah. But like we said, it's a massive, massive win. They probably won't even feel like they've played great and scored 4 goals.
Yeah, good point, yeah. And these are the Klopp shots. Look at them, look at this! Glenn, does this feel like this is another big moment for Liverpool? Another narrow win, but another big moment. And Jurgen Klopp, although he won't say it's advantage Liverpool, he must know 7 points is a big gap, isn't it?
It's massive. It's massive. Like we said at the start of the game, it's exactly what they wanted to do now. They put the pressure onto everybody else and they can sit back and enjoy the weekend now.
There is the Jordan Henderson. Look how many Liverpool fans staying to salute their captain and their gaffer. Of course, so just one more game still going. We'll stick with Will Brazier.
Pickford up from the back.
Remind us of the score and the game that's still going.
2-1. Sigurdsson scored in about the 89th minute. It's Lucas Digner to whip it in. Pickford's up. Oh, and it's cleared away. And that's game, set, match.
These are the full-time scenes. Ralph Hasenhüttl doing his best impression of Jurgen Klopp, trying to match him for animation. It's a massive win at the other end of the table. We talk about the importance of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but Southampton have turned their fortunes around under their new manager. What a win that is. Goals from James Ward-Prowse after 50 minutes. Lucas Digne with an absolute freak own goal that gave Southampton the 2-1 lead. Gylfi Sigurdsson with a consolation after 91st minute. And there is Ralph Hasenhüttl, absolutely delighted. The Alpine Klopp and Glenn. another manager that's come in and really taken the Premier League by storm. Southampton look a different team.
They do. They're obviously good win there, and sometimes that's what you need, a fresh change, and gives everyone a little kick up the bum, and it gets a reaction from people.
What's it like when a new manager comes in? When you've been a player at the top level for many years, when a new manager comes in, how does it change things around the change? I mean, is it a bit like your sort of first day at school again?
Yeah, well, it's a fact that it gives everybody a lift, because the guys that maybe weren't playing or haven't been in the squad, it gives them a chance, because they might this manager might have a different view on them, and they might have an opportunity to get into the team. So as soon as someone comes in, it gives someone that rocket, because everyone wants to be in the starting 11.
Yeah. Still stick with these scenes at St Mary's. Ralph Hasenhüttl going around every single one of his players. Since he's come in, they've played 10, won 4, drawn 2, lost 4. So they have they've turned fortune around, including that famous win against Arsenal. They have, interestingly, dropped the most points from winning positions this season, 15 most in the Premier League. They went ahead, but they didn't drop any points today. Used the most players in the Premier League with 26, and the youngest average starting 11 in the Premier League this season as well. So big win for Ralph Hasenhüttl. We've got 2 screens. You can see Hasenhüttl and Klopp both staying and supporting, celebrating with the supporters, should I say. So big win for Southampton. So all the matches are finished. We can breathe. Let's have a look at how we got on with our Sky Bet group bet. New incentive from Sky Bet. Group bet for you all to get involved in. To start a group with your friends and all get involved. Let's see how we got on. Temps went for draw in Bournemouth versus West Ham. The group bet was done after game 1 because Bournemouth won 2-0. Glenn, you went home win, correctly predicted. So 1 in 1, 100% record for Glenn Johnson. Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 3. I went for a 2-1. Well, I went for a home win. It was a 2-1 to Man United. Will went for an away win. The most wrong of anyone, it seems, because Newcastle won 3-0. Dave Jackson went for a home win. Correct. Tough one to call that, Dave. No, and he went for a 2-1. And I also went for a home win. I was wrong in that one. Watford 0, Burnley 0. You would have got odds of 100 to 1 with Sky Bet, but it didn't come in. So apologies for any of you that took our lead on the group bet.
That is a massive win for Liverpool.
It's a massive win. We can see what it does to the table.
Especially considering they didn't exactly play well, but they you know.
Well, this is what it does to the table. 7 points lead. Worth putting out. Man City do have that game in hand. They play Huddersfield tomorrow. Spurs probably not in the title race anymore. I'll say as a Spurs fan to bated breath. They are third, 48 points from 22 between Spurs, Chelsea, Man United and Arsenal, all fighting for those top 4 finishes. Man United above Arsenal. Arsenal with that game in hand against Chelsea tonight. Big game in the battle before Chelsea versus Arsenal. So let's have a look at the bottom of the table. Doesn't make for good reading for Huddersfield. They're still rock bottom. 11 points from 22 games they play tomorrow. Fulham, though, with the worst goal difference in the league, 14 from 29. And Cardiff now drop into the relegation zone. Newcastle up to 17th. But it's very tight at the bottom, Glenn, isn't it? A lot of teams in amongst it.
It's been the same thing for the last few years. You know, there's almost like 2 leagues within the league. But yeah, it's not looking pretty for the few of them down the bottom there.
Dave, let's talk about Man United as well. Another one of our feature games. Is it fair to say it wasn't the best Man United performance under Solskjaer, but ultimately they got the job done?
I think that was a massive 3 points for them. Because they didn't, particularly second half, after Brighton got one of them back, they didn't play particularly well, but they managed to just basically they managed to just do enough, and that's what you kind of need to do if you are going to try and have a proper run and try and get back into the top 4. So as much as it pays me to say, very well played, Manchester United.
Glenn, we spoke about the title race before the show. It's Liverpool for you all day now? Is it?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win it.
Changing now?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win it by 7 points. But I do think they'll do enough to cling on and lift the trophy. But I can't see. I think they'll lose points until the end of the season. But I also think City will as well.
And let's touch upon Man United. I know that you were watching Liverpool. We had Man United. You saw them in the corner of your eye. What have you made under Man United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Because they just keep winning.
Yeah, like you just mentioned, it's probably not their finest performance, but it's a sign of a good team when they're winning and not playing well. And obviously now it's 7 out of 7. They can't put a foot wrong at a minute. Yeah, so good day for Man United, a good day for Liverpool. Interesting, we can bring you now. These are we spoke about Hasenhüttl and Jurgen Klopp. The Alpine Klopp they call Hasenhüttl. A lot of similarities between the two in terms of the way they play, Glenn, with the pressing, the Gegenpressing, but also a lot of similarities there were. We saw earlier with the celebration scenes. The celebrations were brilliant, weren't they? Yeah, it's great. And even as a player, that's what you want to see. You want to see your manager enjoying it and being almost like one of the lads, you know, or even like a fan. Even them celebrations from Klopp there are brilliant.
The fans love seeing that.
It's perfect.
Let's go. Final few comments from social media. Thames, any questions for Glenn? We had some great ones at half-time.
We've got a lot of Liverpool questions.
Go on.
So King Flippers says, do you think that Oxlade-Chamberlain will get straight back into the first team?
Ooh.
What do you reckon?
It's a tough one. He's obviously a very good player on his day, but he's been out a while, and obviously your team are 7 points top of the league, so I don't think anyone should walk back into the team because there's not a lot in there you want to change. But I'm sure as soon as he does get fit and with his ability, they're going to need him throughout the season.
I felt really sorry for Oxlade-Chamberlain last year because I thought he was playing so well. I remember the Man City Champions League game particularly where he was just... I think he was one of Liverpool's most informed players before, and I remember thinking he's going to have a big role to play for England in the World Cup, and then you look at it now and he's fighting. It's a horrible injury as well with his recovery. There was reports this week that Klopp thinks he will come back this season, as in be fit. Okay. Whether he comes back into the team is another matter. He must be gagging to get back onto the pitch now.
Of course, yeah. Well, there's never a good time to be injured, and obviously it's a lonely part of your career, and it's even worse. It's a good thing that is obviously the team performing, but it's even worse when you're not involved. Certainly in the good times at the moment. So the most important thing, he has had a nasty injury and it's been a long time. It's just important that he gets back right and don't try to rush anything and relapse again.
How did you find that in your career when you had a serious injury or an injury that kept you out for a period of time? Was the mental challenge as hard as the physical challenge in terms of being away from the lads, doing one-on-one stuff in the gym? It must be very hard mentally as well as physically. Yeah,
it is. And everyone's got their own sort of way of dealing with it. But for me, obviously, unfortunately, I had a lot of muscle injuries and whatnot, but I would try and sort of get the blinkers on, if you like, and sort of try and be a bit single-minded about myself. So that you're not beating yourself up about not being on the pitch. But I know other guys, in terms of what I mean by that is I'm not always watching the games. I try to sort of take a back seat with it. But then, obviously, at the end of the day, your body will tell you when you're ready to come back and play. But other guys, obviously, are happy to watch all the games and don't seem to mind so much.
OK, let's get some more questions for Glenn, more Liverpool-related questions. Thames?
We have one from Junior, who is clearly not a Liverpool fan, because he says, are Liverpool the luckiest team in the league?
They just create their own luck.
Dave, should we get a neutral perspective on that?
I think, like, you know, let's not get carried away. Like, but that is a sign of champions there, where they have not played well. They were losing three times in that game. Is that right? You know,
they were losing once.
Like that's a sign of a team that is maybe ready to make that next step. You know, to kind of go from second to first potentially. So I don't think that's luck at all. The amount of great United teams. The history, obviously, like some of the great Arsenal teams as well. Like, you know, you win when you're not playing well, and that's how you manage to take that step.
And you need luck to win it. You look at the 1-0 to the Arsenal, the Fergie time, Chelsea when they won the Champions League, and things that went their way. You need luck to win a title because it's such a long process, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. You've got so many games and so many things going on. There's not a team that's won the league without some luck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Good point. So, and also, it's not negative. It's a good thing to have luck, isn't it? Really, I mean,
of course,
it's a great thing for them. But I imagine that's not from a Liverpool fan.
I don't think so. I'd be very surprised.
It sounds like a Palace fan.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Any other questions?
King Flippers again with another question. Who is the best youth prospect this season?
Oh, good question. That's one we need to think about, isn't it?
Yeah. Brooksy.
Yeah, come on, Will. We haven't gone to Will in a while over here. Just deflating after all the goals that you've witnessed.
Mate, I think
you've witnessed a lot of young prospects in your games, so...
David Brooks, just always... and Ryan Fraser as well, both for Bournemouth. Every week we do this show, they always come up in some capacity and always for a positive reason, working the magic down the wings. But, yeah, I think them two...
I think, if we're talking young, I think Trent... I know we've mentioned before, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, for the level that he's playing at for his age, I think is frightening. I think he's just...
Even someone like Ruben Neves as well.
I don't disagree. I think he could be a player that could be around for a long, long time.
I think you see like Sancho at Dortmund. Unbelievable.
You mentioned Sancho at Dortmund. Callum Hudson-Odoi, I'll put in that similar mould of players in that there's a German club that want him, an English club are working out whether
to
keep hold of him.
Sancho's went there, and it's now his spot. It's not like he's just been brought on for 5 minutes at the end. He is now a starter in that Dortmund team that are 7 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga. It's absolutely fantastic.
Callum Hudson-Odoi, Glenn, do you think he's obviously playing well for Chelsea? He's a very, very young player. Still a teenager, but he's sort of worked his way into certainly Sarri's plans. Bayern Munich are in for him. They've made a few bids for him. As a young player, what do you think he should do? Stay at Chelsea and fight for his place, or go to a club abroad and get regular first team? It's a tough situation to be in, isn't it? A good situation, yeah, it's a tough decision to make.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. But obviously, as a young player, you want to play and need to play. Because time goes so quick that if he does hang around while he's not playing and then he doesn't get his chance or he doesn't take his chance, then before you know it, a season's gone and he could be forgotten about.
And did you find that in your career, that you mentioned earlier with the loan move you had to Mill was about playing games? Did you find that later on in your career when you wanted to stay at a club because you had an affinity to them or you liked playing there, but you had to move to get first team? Did you ever have that?
Yes, my last season at Chelsea.
Really?
Obviously, I was contracted there and the club didn't want me to leave, but I was adamant I had to go out on loan and play and prove that I was good enough to perform at that level. Because I believed I was, but I just didn't feel like I was getting the chance to do it. So I had to sort of take a step back, analyse a few things and think, right, I need to jump ship, go and play and prove what I can do.
And you went to Portsmouth, won the FA Cup.
There
What's out? There you go. Let's take a final few questions before we end the stream. Keep your final questions coming in to us. Temps?
Yeah, this is a really good question from Boo Ridder, sorry. It's for you, Glenn. What advice would you give a young defender like Trent and Gomez, you know, to improve and build upon their current career? So as an experienced defender, what would you give them?
Good question, that.
I think just to make sure that they're enjoying their football.
Yeah.
Because sometimes as a young kid it can sort of all go over your head and time goes so quick you can almost not understand actually what's going on. But the fact that Trent's playing for England and in the Premier League, it's almost just got to enjoy every moment of it and appreciate what he's doing and never sort of get a bit complacent with it.
We spoke about, we all said he's one of the standout players in terms of young players. How far can he go? Are we talking about a player that could be one of the best in the world at his position? Is he that good, Trent?
He seems to have all the attributes, yeah. Obviously, in the earlier days, like I just mentioned, sometimes you can be sort of on cloud nine and performing out your skin. So I hope that's not the case. I genuinely think he's got pure ability. So yeah, I think he could be one of the best in the world. I just fingers crossed he gets a bit of luck when he needs it and keeps performing at the level he is.
Yeah, he's a top player. OK, let's take one more question.
Yeah, this one's from Freddie Turner, who says, how will the return of Champions League impact the title race?
Ooh.
What do you reckon?
Dave?
I think it's obviously going to have a massive impact.
You said Man City at the start of the stream, did you?
I think Man City have the better squad to challenge on a couple of fronts. And the thing with Liverpool at Anfield in Europe is that's ridiculous. They could have their worst team in 50 years and they'll still be able to do something at Anfield in Europe. It's almost like I feel like Liverpool see the Champions League as a bonus, whereas I think City see the Champions League as a priority. So they might put more eggs into that basket. Is my thing. What I think Liverpool need to do is just keep putting the pressure on when they play before City, making sure there is always 7 points, 7 points, 7 points, and that's all they can do, really.
Yeah. OK, let's have a look at what is on Sky this weekend. Loads of football, as always, for you to enjoy over the course of this weekend. Super Sunday starts with Huddersfield against Man City. Huge game for both teams. Huddersfield at the bottom of the table massively need something from that game. Man City have to win, of course, to put the pressure on Liverpool. You can watch that one at 12:30 p.m. on Sky Sports Premier League. That is followed by Fulham against Spurs at 3:30 p.m. Sky Sports Premier League for that one. So good Super Sunday. And we will all be back on Tuesday, January the 29th for the Football Social. Midweek special. Jack Mate is joining us for that one. 7:30 p.m. Soccer M and Football Daily's YouTube channel. There's loads of games going on. So we'll see you on Tuesday, January the 29th. Big thanks to our guest, Glenn. Dave, you're on the Football Social. Love having you on. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good.
Brilliant. And obviously your old team winning, so
makes it even better.
Perfect day. Dave, watching Man United.
Yeah. And they're now above us in the league, which is great. Fantastic. So, yeah.
Temps, a quick word to the people giving us the questions. Some great questions today.
Questions are really good. Good standard of question, guys. So well done to you.
And Will, toughest job on the sofa watching 4 games. You witnessed some good goals today, didn't you?
So some absolute screamers ready for a lie down in a dark room and a cold shower. OK, on that note, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back on Tuesday, January the 29th. We will leave you with our best bits from today. Bye-bye.
3 points is what the main thing.
Yeah, there was a technical difficulty with that, so we will leave you now. We'll say goodbye again. Goodbye. Have a good weekend. Here are the best bits from the Football Social. Come on.
Obviously, Mourinho is one of the best managers I've worked for. And surprising, for whatever reason, the players just didn't click with him, and for whatever reason, that's probably the only time in his career it didn't work.
Yeah. And I've been to Melwood, and they've got the famous wall. Did you ever see people peering over the wall?
Really? Stood on bins. They used to take the bins from the houses around the side and just stand on top of the bins and then obviously film what they could.
And how the players react when you see someone peering over the wall at Melwood?
It's quite funny, isn't it?
So you're not bothered about tactics, Big Lee?
No, not really.
There you go.
It's just a bit of banter, isn't it?
And conditions apply. Will, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I should have bought my inhaler.
Glenn, you like to go to the toilet?
Do I want to?
Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, if I'm allowed to, yeah.
Glenn, you can go right now. We'll be joining us at half time. There you go, Glenn. And we've got the teas and coffees that Lee, our floor manager, is kindly bringing in while Glenn talks about. Thank you very much. Is that my tea? Thank you. Glenn, do you like tea or coffee?
I'll have a coffee, please.
Glenn will have a coffee, please. Will? James's Park, Will Brazier.
I think it's Shah again. It's unbelievable. Get him up front, Benitez. It's an OG screamer of the season. An OG from 25 yards out. Is that Lucas? What the hell?
What a finish!
What the hell?
Yes! Come on! That's one back! That's one back! Come on, Ryan, let's go!
An absolute peach.
Goal for Liverpool! Glenn Johnson
over.
said they would win. They are winning. What a win for Liverpool.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll send it to everyone. Take it on that one. Take it on that one. Yeah. Thank you very much. Ready to sit down?